All right, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Pumping Culture Podcast. I'm here. Today's going to be a good episode because I got two of my friends. One of your second-tier friends, your new friends you meet when you kind of like gain experience in life, things change, jobs change. And I could actually call these guys my friends today. Guys, just introduce yourselves, give a little background about yourself.
Second tier. Should we be offended by that? Or
Absolutely not.
Okay, I just got.
Everybody got their day ones from high school, but then you got that second group of friends you meet later in life.
Okay, day twos.
There you go, day
okay,
twos.
because you said second.
I didn't mean that. The day twos.
I got it. Okay.
The day two.
My apologies.
Yeah,
okay.
day two.
I'm never ashamed of being listed as a day two. Sometimes
but he didn't say day two.
I meant day two.
He
my
said
bad.
second tier.
But I understood where he was coming from, though, because at the end of the day, sometimes your tier two friends come forward more than your tier one friends.
No, I
Exactly.
agree.
You know,
I definitely got my day ones, my day twos, day threes.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely. But yeah, I'm Mark. How do we meet? I met Casey at work. We know Casey since 2017. Started working together, and we're still working together to this day.
Yeah.
We all started in the same place, and we're all elevating together. We are not in the same place where we started.
Yeah.
Which I love that for all of us. And we've all been promoted, and we're working in different places, but the same place. So I love that for all of us.
Yeah.
Honestly.
What about you, Brian?
Yeah, it's a pretty little quaint story of three guys that had, some similar interests. And from there, it started as just, regular work talk. And just like any other workspace, especially with us being, African Americans and coming from different backgrounds, you got to kind of feel people out, see who they are. And we started to realize, like, hey, these guys may be cooler than just, a hi and bye or let's just go to lunch. And from there, the relationship evolved into a space where, we've traveled different places, some of us out of the country, the other states.
What was our first trip together, guys? Come on.
Vegas, man, that was a great trip.
That was a good
great
trip.
2019, right before COVID.
Yeah, right before COVID. That was a good trip.
That was a good
good
trip.
times.
Yeah, that was a good trip.
I think ultimately, from being able to go from, baby steps where you feel people out to, all right, I can hang out with this guy at lunch. All right, I can hang out with this guy after work. All right, I can hang out with this guy, on the weekends. All right, I can hang out with this guy out the country.
He said feel people out.
Yeah.
Remember Smart Circle? When
Right.
I tried to sell Casey tickets originally. I'm not going to go too deep into it.
Yeah, let's not share too much of that. But
you
you tried to sell me tickets, and I'm like, whoa.
We went from just
Facts.
kicking it at work to going to games, going
All
to
those
sporting
basketball
events.
games we went to, man.
Yeah.
Half the season. So, we were talking about, I guess intros. I don't want to make it too long, but these guys I look at as people that are not just people that I like to hang out with. I trust them. I trust them for their opinion. I trust them for their aspects on life, business, relationships, and we have a circle where we can kind of converse about things, and it's not something where it's based on being judgmental or trying to look at people crazy, I feel like there's something that I have an issue with, whether that be, hey, I don't know this about money. I can speak to you. I can speak to Casey. Or, hey, I don't, and especially with us all evolving, right? So each one of us kind of getting engaged and, either being married and moving forward in life, you want to have people that you can relate with. And so I feel like, especially now, the space that I'm in, all three of us are kind of like, one moves, the other moves.
Yeah.
All right, you do it. All right, cool. And we support each other. And I think that's the important piece. It's not just about saying, congratulations. It's like, no, Mark, your wedding's coming up. Casey's wedding coming up. No, I'm going to be there. I'm going to be there to support. I'm right.
Because I remember, too, because remember when we were like, I was like trying to leave as bad as possible that job. But then you also saw people around us kind of getting promoted, like Brian just getting that manager job, and Regina was moving on, and then eventually, Mark went on and moved on to something better. But everybody stayed in contact, and and that's a testimony of like how people's communication stays, because
That's a fact.
I left. We all still stayed in contact. You guys made it to my wedding, and then I'm gonna make it to your wedding next year. So it's like I kind of like that brotherhood, because we didn't have to keep communicating. Like people don't have to continue to talk to each other, but when you build relationships, you do.
Some people do fall to the wayside, and like you said, your network is your net worth, right? So us having this camaraderie where it's, it's more than just us, but us having that cohort together kind of places us in a space where it's like, hey, I heard about this job. Hey, I heard about that. Hey, we're doing this. Hey, we're doing that.
How did I get back?
Right.
How did I get back?
And what we're doing.
And it was that one conversation that we had at that restaurant.
Yeah.
And you told me, yo, they're
hiring.
Hit her up.
That's another thing.
And I
did. We haven't seen you in a minute, but we were still in contact, and we decided we got to continue to link up, so we can continue to keep in contact, continue to just hang out, and have that and keep the brotherhood strong.
Right.
Correct. Yeah.
And then from there, we got you back, and now
because like right now, everybody's at all different levels, but I mean, it's not about being jealous about somebody's success and this and that. We all trying to get up there. We all trying to get that dollar.
I feel like
it's just a different path.
If someone's really your friend, like, and you really want to see them do good, doesn't matter how good they do, you'll be happy for them.
No,
even if they're doing better than you.
No, facts. Because if I know we always spoke about that. It's like if you make it all the way to the top, I hope you bring your crew with you.
That's a fact.
That's it. Because
that's the way to look at it.
Yeah, if we could take over that, I'm not gonna say the department's name, but if we could take over that department, I would. Whole crew together.
We will take over that department.
Whole crew together.
At the end of the day, what ego serves nobody, right? Like you having an ego, especially it's like when you're working.
Preaching. I thought I was the pastor.
when you're talking about living in your ego and feeling like I have to be above people, and ultimately, like you said, it's not about how old somebody is, how long other people have been working. Do we have a common goal, right? Because the only way we can help each other is if we get into certain positions, right? And as you saw, we started working with each other. We all transitioned and moved to different spots. But even with that mindset, we're constantly like, hey, listen, if you get into this spot, you get into this spot. Now, it's like Monopoly. We're taking over the board. We're taking over certain pieces. And once you get enough people into those higher positions, with us, right, you're right. You're still transitioning, and now we have the avenue to be able to open the doors for other people, whether that be family members, friends, right? Like, I got a couple nieces and nephews that I know they're going to be finishing school soon enough. Hey,
yo, hit me up.
Right, like I know I already have a job for you.
Yeah.
Right, and then especially in this day and age, in this job market,
bro. And the fact that eventually we're all, I mean, Mark, you're moving up to it, but when we all have power, we have to use that power to help the people around us get up. Because I keep asking and I keep telling people, there's something available, and people are not giving me the feedback. Maybe they think it's an entry level, whatever it may be. But I'm putting it out there. I'm saying, like, I can help you. I don't know if I can give you the position, but I can help you.
Right.
I can get to the first step.
I feel like we're all put in places for a reason.
Correct.
If we are put in certain places to help other people succeed, help people get to where they need to be, I feel like that's amazing.
Yeah,
like we're all put in. We are like everything happens for a reason. Nothing happens on coincidence. That's what I'm a firm believer. Everything happens for a reason.
Yeah.
And I feel like there are certain people that are put in certain places to be able to do things for others. Yeah. And if you can, then do it.
No,
honestly,
I fully agree.
You can't have a crab in a bucket mentality.
Oh, God.
You can't have that type of mentality and expect to.
What do you mean by that?
So like, if I was worried about you becoming a manager or Mark becoming a manager and you making more money than me or him or right, people will do things just because they feel like, oh man, if I put you in this spot, you're gonna be making X amount more than me. I don't even want to recommend you for something like that.
That's a fact.
And for
That's
me,
a hater mentality.
Right. And for me, I always look at it. It doesn't matter if I'm making more money or you making more money. As long as we can continue to put each other in position, who cares who's making the most money? Because it's going to trickle down regardless.
At the end of the day, all we try and do is feed our family and make the possible, just make our legacy a great legacy. Absolutely. And just, and do it like that. And I think at the end of the day, it really doesn't matter about like that dollar amount where we're at. Because obviously we're fighting to get to that number.
It's corporate, man. We're all a number in this building.
Oh, yeah, fact. 100%.
We're a number. So why would I not want to put people around me that I actually enjoy the workday?
But also the way the way I look at life, everything, like we're all running our own individual races. Yeah. I can't be worried about what you're doing on this end.
No.
I need to run my race. If you're making more money, cool. I'm not gonna hate on you. I'm just gonna what do I need to do
to get to that point?
Right.
As opposed to watching what you do. But if I'm watching what you do, then I'll never be able to focus on what I need to do.
No, because you're almost cloudy. Because you're kind of thinking about that person.
Pocket watching blocks your blessings.
A lot of things block your blessings.
But specifically pocket watching.
Honestly, it's pride. And the Bible tells us, I hate to go here, but I am a future pastor. Pride is a desire of the flesh. The desires of the flesh go against fruits of the spirit. What do you
mean by that?
Desire of the flesh? Okay, so to break it down, I'm trying to break it down as simple as possible, right? You have fruits of the spirit. The spirit is the Holy Spirit.
Okay.
And those are, I guess, basically things that the Holy Spirit gives us that people can see from us. So like when you plant something, when you plant, okay, say you plant a tree, right? And you plant a tree properly, you'll see the tree grow and you'll see fruits
from that.
Grow from that tree. And those fruits, you can use those fruits to nourish yourself, right?
Okay.
So the way I look at it, like Holy fruits of the Spirit. So the Holy Spirit will put something into us so they can be a fruit, so they can be resources, so they can be helpful to the world and to other people.
Right.
Right? And the Bible tells us that fruits of desires of the flesh, so that's pride, that's gluttony, that's hate, all of envy, all of those are desires of the flesh. So that's things that us as humans kind of go through and battle with. And those are not fruits.
Okay.
So and the Bible tells us that desires of the flesh are contradictory to fruits of the spirit.
Okay.
So pride, the Bible tells us, is a desire of the flesh. So it's not godly.
Okay.
To break it down, like it's not godly.
No, I get that. Yeah. Okay.
So to be hating on the next man, that's not godly.
It's too much energy too.
Way too much energy. Way too much energy.
Yeah, and that just makes sense because it takes too much energy to hate on the person next to you just because they're succeeding or they're making that more money than you.
Man, I was always raised with a mentality: if you want to go further, you go together. You gotta go
lift
together,
each other up, bro. It's
gotta go together, man.
There's a Haitian proverb that says "a pile main chai pa lou," which means a lot of hands lightens the load.
That's it.
If you want to do something, you do it together.
Bro, 100%. I don't want to go dark with it, but like, do you ever see anyone carrying a casket by themselves?
Nope.
Nah, fact.
Never.
No, because it's a team of people putting together, making it easier on the team.
You can't have that mentality where you feel like you're gonna.
What that dude say? I'd rather be judged by 12 than be carried by 6.
Judged by 12.
Is that what he says? Is it judged? Is that what he says?
I think so.
You know, matter of fact, I don't like that. I'll take it back.
Like that?
I knew you was going with it, but
I'll take it back.
But in general,
is that what he says? Is it judge?
In general, that's for a different connotation, but I know what that's for. But in general, this idea that because it's very rare, especially in this lifetime, when you talking about coming of age and starting a job and you're trying to as you get older, it becomes harder to make friends.
Absolutely.
Right? It becomes way harder to find people that you can relate with, even the people that like you said, your day ones.
You think so?
Honestly, yeah.
I think depending on your mentality,
I feel like it's harder for women than men to just make friends.
No, but it's still. Like, it's still not easy.
To find people that can relate to you in regards to the things that you like or the goals that you have, right? Because
that's different.
I can say, right, and we've had conversations about this with other individuals where we previously worked at, where they've straight up told us, like, Mark has interviewed for jobs where they told him straight up, and me and him had a conversation about this.
What?
You have too much ambition. Like,
wait, they tell you this?
Somebody told
you there's too much ambition?
I got feedback from an interview that I took back over there on that floor.
Okay.
And they told me, where I was told that, Mark, they don't want to give you the job because you told them that you have desires to be a manager. You have this is
because you're gonna take somebody's seat that they might not want to take.
This is just a temporary stop. They don't want to give you the job because you have desires to be a manager. And you have too much ambition for that.
And you can't look at them telling you that as a bad thing. It's almost like they're doing you a favor.
Well, no, I figured that person is kind of putting you down.
No, absolutely.
It's a double-edged sword.
But it's almost like he's saying, come to this department, but don't get your hopes up to move up to the level.
It was we are not interested in you because your vision is greater than ours.
Oh.
But at the same time,
okay,
imagine they could have easily just said, you know what, let him take it.
Okay, I get it.
And he'd still probably be sitting there to this day.
That's a fact.
Compared to, if, you know, he waited for the blessing to come, and now look at all of us.
Nah, I think you're in a better spot now.
Honestly,
No, bro. It's not debatable.
I think you're in a way better spot now.
honestly,
Yeah.
like I said, and it goes back to what I said a couple minutes ago.
Yeah.
Everything happens for a reason.
Yeah.
I feel like them not hiring me, I'm like, to me, I was like, okay, that's
I mean,
cool, but I'm in a better position now.
I mean,
honestly.
I remember when you told me, and I disagreed on the whole situation. I felt like it wasn't fair to you.
If I was qualified for a job, hire me.
But that's not what they're doing, though.
No,
you know how it
not.
is.
But at the same time, but then again, it goes back to the crab and the barrel mentality. I really feel like that for that specific position.
Yeah.
And that they didn't want to hire me because they felt.
No, I think your personality was just too strong.
Like
you and your work alley and what you were trying to accomplish was too much for them to handle because they were going to push. They were almost going to hold you back on purpose.
Right, or the fear of, all right, we hire him for this position. He's now doing it. He's asking for more responsibility. He wants to show us that he wants to do more. And they're not going to give it. And that's not what we need from him.
They were intimidated.
They want a machine in that seat.
Right.
Someone to just do the job.
And it's hard when you know for yourself, you don't want to just be a number on a piece of paper.
And you already know that, like, that's not our path.
No,
we spoke about it 100 times. Like, that's not what we trying to achieve for.
I'm not trying to sit in front of a computer all day and this be my endpoint.
And not even that. To me, it's like, I don't want to compare it to other people, but like sitting in the same seat for 30 years. That's not going to be me.
That's crazy.
It's not going to be me, bro. I'm going to keep trying to achieve and climb that ladder as far as I can until, and I know, and I always told myself, I'm not trying to be no CEO. But I'm trying to climb myself enough where I'm getting to a comfortable spot, where then I'm just relaxed.
And what's comfortable for you is for somebody else.
Correct.
I did have a conversation with someone I used to work with, and they was like, "You want to manage people? Like you want people under you?"
So the crazy part about it, people don't want to do that. People don't know. People don't want to manage though.
And I've heard a lot.
That's the thing. People don't want that. Like they don't want that responsibility.
That's them. I cannot have someone over me for my entire life.
I know, but someone's always going to be over you, though.
Of course.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
No,
but
you know that
I understand
already.
that, but I can't be. My mentality is not worker. That's not my mentality. The rest of my life to be. And that's exactly to be worker. It's not.
And that's exactly what hits home for me is because the word worker is, and that's what most of us are. And you see the people around us, the older people who at this point in life they're just workers, and we're like, bro, I don't know if I'm going to be in this seat long for you to really know me before I try to achieve something else in life.
I think too also when I think about it, you know, like I said, with us becoming friends and learning about each other, I also think a lot about the backgrounds that we come from and the people that, you know, we had to guide us. Like, you know, for yourself, you know, your dad was a very big influence on the two of us when we first started working, giving us a lot of games.
My dad's on something else, man.
Bro,
my dad's on something else.
He gives a lot of.
I know he's always trying to share something with somebody, though.
But for me, I was so thankful for that because I know there's certain things that he gave me that I implemented that helped me to be where I am today. And when I think about even for Mark, right, like when you talk about not wanting to, you know, have somebody over you for the rest of your life. You know, a lot of that too comes from what you saw with your dad, right? Like your dad is the head pastor, like he calls the shots. So it's like if I'm someone that's coming from that, and I even think about my own mother, like her running her own business, right? Being an entrepreneur. We don't really come from this background where we don't know about working hard, right? And working hard for what you want.
Nah, because we see the people around us achieving so much that it's like that gotta just be the minimum of achieving where they're at, and then try to push further from that.
Listen, the goal is always to do better than your parents, and I feel like I'm thinking about it with all three of our parents. Our parents set that bar
pretty high. It's pretty high. It's pretty high.
I think about too, like how my mom used to say to me, listen, you know, even when I had my first job flipping burgers at a McDonald's, man, she said, listen, your objective should never be to be standing here flipping this burgers for the rest of your life.
Just the manager.
If this is what you want to do for the rest of your life, your goal should be to run the store, run multiple stores, just be the best at whatever it is. If you scoop garbage for a living, be the best garbage scooper that you can be. That's all I want from you, right? She never, like my parents never pushed me to try to be something that I didn't want to be. But they always wanted me to just give it 110%, give it your all. And I think ultimately we realized working where we were at, everybody didn't have that mentality.
Bro, and for real, it's different. Because this is all coming from somebody who's, 4, maybe 5 years younger than us?
Yeah.
Bro, and since I met this man, because we worked right across from each other, this man had an older mindset in a younger age.
That's a fact.
And it was
got an old soul.
Man got an old soul. Facts, bro, because he was talking like he was my age, and we weren't even that old at the point. But now it's like, we're both in our 30s.
Yeah.
How old do you know?
Turning, 28, man.
Come on, man. This is a young cat right here, still in his 20s, man. Still in his 20s.
I was
You gotta
27 when I
understand.
started working at MTV.
Yeah, and I was
look at it
26.
Like this, bro. I appreciate y'all so much because I look to y'all for counsel. Like, when you talk about people that you look up to and people that you strive to be like, right? I look to you guys for that counsel because at the end of the day, I know the only way that I can get better, iron sharpens iron. You feel me?
Ooh, no, you gonna keep going into Bible verses?
So overall, like the idea that, I become a better person if you become a better person and you become a better person and we continue to strive and move forward because without it, I just can't sit back and expect, for me to be able to learn things or to get game for things that I may not have the experience or knowledge about, right? Like, I haven't purchased my first home yet. Casey's purchased property. Why would I not speak to somebody that's purchased property? Right. For you know me. I'm always you tap into the plug. Like you don't
absolutely tap into the plug.
You can't do anything by yourself without having some sort of connections.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And my thing is, I know a lot of people out there too. It's okay to be humble, but like also if you know somebody, don't be afraid to ask for help, and also make sure that whatever you're doing, you bring value to that person too. Mm-hmm. That's how you make that.
Don't just take, but make it a relationship.
Right. Make the relationship symbiotic. That way, they're getting something from you, you getting something from them, and then we're all learning, and that's how you level up.
Yeah, agreed.
Otherwise, if you just taking, eventually that person whatever plug that you got, you're gonna cut out that plug because that at that point you no longer benefit to that person.
Nah,
and that's what everyone talks about these days, especially getting older and older. You got to keep a group around you who are still trying to succeed and push and try to gain. Like we said, one of the days we're gonna buy a laundromat. Like the thing is, talking business, talking money, talking success.
Right here on camera, the three of us are going to buy a laundromat.
Like that's like it's the key is always talking success, talking business, talking the next move to like put ourselves forward, and that's it, man. Because at the end of the day, like I said, I'm gonna repeat it again. All we trying to do is do best for our family and and whatever kids and future we have coming on. But I didn't bring these guys just to talk about life and all that other good stuff. I wanted them to share their stories about a lot of their new fitness journeys and the way they've accomplished a lot of weight drop over the last year. And when I left back, when I left my past job back in 2022, and I came back in 2023, man, I saw two slim guys out of nowhere, and I was like, "What the heck's going on?"
Slim.
Nah, you slim, bro. You slim, bro. You slim, bro.
Don't be modest.
Come on, don't be modest. You lost a lot of weight, bro. A lot of weight. And I kind of want you guys to talk about how that motivated you, or what got you going, and where you at today. So whoever can start, it's up to you guys.
If you want me to go first, I'll go first.
You go first.
So, ultimately, we had talked about this too a lot.
Wait, before you even go into this, because Brian, I worked out with Brian way back. I took this man to Blink with me, right? Woo. I put you through a workout, right?
Listen,
I put a couple of you through some workouts, bro.
Every dollar.
Don't even talk. I ain't even worried about that. No dollars.
Listen, this man put me in the workout of my life. and mind you, growing up, I was never an athlete. I never thought I was. You know how you I'm not that bad. I'm not that out of shape. I worked out with this man. I was like, oh, I need to get it together. But ultimately, you get better. And
did you go back?
What after?
Go back?
I mean, I still want to work out with Casey.
Did you go back?
No, we did a couple of sessions. We didn't just do just one.
I think we worked out a couple times.
It was a couple of sessions, but just in general, like that was what kind of kicked off my fitness journey. Working, where we were working at, and for me, over the past year, I had let myself go. I was super duper lethargic. I was out of shape, out of breath, eating whatever I wanted to. I felt terrible. And one day I woke up and I said, enough is enough, man. You can't, we talk about that ambition and drive. It's like we're so focused on trying to get new jobs, working on wedding planning, everything else. You kind of lose yourself amongst all of that, right? And ultimately, health is wealth.
I was just about to say that. I was hoping you said that sentence.
I can't make it to a wedding unless I'm healthy, right? Yeah. So ultimately, when we're talking about this, one of my biggest fitness inspiration has always been Casey, man. You go on his IG, the dude looks like Hercules and Adonis put together.
I'm doing this for all fun. This is fun to me. This is life to me.
But fun for me,
life, bro. Like,
some people would see you and be intimidated to even want to have a conversation with you about fitness, because you can look at it like I can never reach where he's at.
I'm not judgmental.
I'm not humble.
I'm just trying to share something with you to help the next person next to me. I'm not trying to push my agenda or my life on top of nobody, because you live your life if you happy, and that's all that matters to me. That's literally all that matters to me.
And I had started the year. I started the end of 2023, October. I started the year. I looked at myself. I was at damn near 250 pounds, man. You guys were like 250 pounds. I said, listen,
that was heavy.
I was heavy, man.
Yeah.
And I can gladly say today, with the help of Casey and talking to people, once again, speaking with your network to be able to help you out.
Yeah.
I went from 250 down to 210.
And how'd you do it?
Hard work, and there's no shortcuts. There's a lot of things, and I think for me, I bring a lot of stuff to you because there's a lot of misinformation on the internet in regards to how you can lose weight or what's the best, the healthiest way to do it, right? Yeah. So me and you talked a lot about, trying to lose 1.5 to 2 pounds per week, how to structure your diet, right? You're a vegan. I'm not a vegan, but hey, this is how you set up your macros, your calories. This is how much you should be intaking.
Because it doesn't matter about what type of diet you're on. It just matters about
calories in, calories out, man.
Correct, man. 100%.
And so when you gave me the game and you gave me these instructions, and ultimately, I could have took it from you and did nothing with it, but I had to apply it. And it wasn't like you were working out with me every single day, but when we would check in, you'd be like, Brian, what's your update? How you doing? I'm doing great. I'm starting to see the weight fall off. I'm dropping all these pounds. I'm going down from 250 to 210. Yeah. From October. Like I said, I started in October. We're in March.
March.
I feel good. I look good. My girl loves it now. Right? But people notice, right? So when you're taking the advice of somebody that really does it, right, and not allowing your ego to be involved, you're gonna see the best results of your life.
Did you have some type of goal or motivational point that you're trying to achieve? Almost like the way I try to explain it is, a lot of times I feel like it's easier for someone to work out for something. So for example, you both are getting married next year. Is it a goal to get healthy or just to look good at your wedding? Or because we all did destination wedding. We're all gonna do. I did destination. You're both doing destination.
We are outside.
Yes, we were outside, t-shirt off.
Right.
You know what I mean? So is going into 2024, is the wedding kind of where you want to hit your peak, or it's just you just want to feel good and all that
I think
stuff?
The wedding definitely was a motivating factor for me because it's we were at your wedding and I was still heavy then, and I didn't
notice though.
Right, but even in general,
didn't see you guys in a little bit of time.
Right, so I feel like even in general, compared to when we go to these next upcoming weddings, you're gonna be like, all right, nah, I see what you're talking about.
I know I'm gonna pull up, and I'm not gonna recognize this dude right here. Right. but I'm gonna see this dude on
right. So and it's just a matter of doing the hard work, right? Doing the lifting, doing the cardio, staying committed, right? And like you said, what is the driving factor, right? You got to have something that's going to motivate you. And I think me wanting to look good for my wedding ultimately is one of the biggest drivers for it. Because, I don't want to get to the resort. I take my shirt off and I look like a beached whale. Like, who wants to look like that? Right? I want to take my shirt off and
some people do.
They do, and that works for them. But for me, I want to.
Beached whale, that's crazy.
For me, I want to get there. I'll take my shirt off, and everybody's like, "Whoa!"
Yeah.
He was grinding hard.
That's a new.
He really wanted to look good, and ultimately, it's like you want to look good in your tux. You want to look good in your suit. You want it to fit a certain type of way.
Yep,
you want your pictures to look a certain type of way.
Correct.
Those are all driving, motivating factors. But I think ultimately, I don't want it to be the end, right?
Yeah.
I want it to be the catalyst that pushes me to want to continue that fitness journey, so that one day I can have the physique or the look that I want, right? Because I look good now, but I'm nowhere near what I want it to be. And I think you told me that it's like fitness is a continuum. Like even you're like, yo, listen, I'm still working on aspects of my physique to this day.
Bro, when you do it the natural way without the drugs and things, it's a long process, and people have to understand to like wait and let those gains and let that stuff hit, because this is not over, unless you want to cheat, go ahead, but it'll fall off. But like doing this the right way, like, and I feel like I'm 32 years old. I feel like I look the best now compared to when I was 25, 24 years old. Like I'm 32 years old and I feel like I look and feel the best.
Right.
And it took me years of consistent working out to really get to this point where I feel comfortable. And like I said, when y'all saw that Ron video, I look better than the normal. I look better than the normal. And that was always kind of my goal, to not look like the normal person on the beach, but look like, oh, he work out.
Right, above average.
Yeah, above average. Yeah,
I don't
want above average.
I don't want to look regular. I want to look
there
like...
you go.
Casey, you know this, bro. Like, your physique, as far as your build, is a head turner, right? And like you said, it took a long time. It wasn't something...
Slow grind.
So for me, I know it's a marathon, not a sprint.
Mm-hmm.
So if I want to get to a place where my physique is at its best, right, I got to put in the hard work to be able to reach that point. And ultimately having a support group and having people that push you to motivate you, like, hey, listen, we're 3 months out. Mm-hmm. What's the weight looking like? What's the body fat percentage looking like? How much are we running? Do we need to up the cardio? Do we need to watch the car?
That's why I've been trying to get y'all both to come to Jersey. Come on, man. Make the move. Make the move to Jersey.
I love me some Brooklyn.
But, yeah, man, like I said, when it comes to the fitness thing, like you said, you taught me so much in the 4 years. Even like I said, when we first started working together, I had so many questions because I was a fitness newbie. I knew nothing about the gym. You remember, I was like, yo, I've never benched a day in my life.
I saw it.
And you were like,
I was
what
shocked.
do you mean? Right. I was like, because I never benched.
I personally never seen somebody who doesn't know how to bench.
Right.
So it was like new to me, like, oh, like I need to teach him how to hold the bar.
Yeah.
And it's cool. Like I've never worked with somebody that new in the game, but it was like exciting.
Yeah.
Right.
Because he was just trying to. The thing is, normally when people ask to work out and things like that, they're really not serious about kind of continuing that journey. But it's something Brian was the. Brian was trying to look right, and it wasn't just for like everything else. It almost saw what I saw in myself in a young age was he wants to look good in front of other people, and that's different. And then I remember with you, Mark, and you were showing me some of your young photos, and I'm like, Mark, come on, man, what happened? Because you was in Miami, right, for a while?
Yeah, I've always been big, and I guess back in like right when I was about to graduate college, I lost mad weight.
Okay.
Mad weight. I think I dropped down to 100 and change.
100 and change.
Yeah, I think I was like I was like 180, 185.
And you said you was looking like you felt good at that point,
right?
Yeah,
I felt okay. Cause I'm not gonna lie.
Okay.
Like, even at 180, I still felt like I could have been
a little lighter.
I still felt like I could have been better. I still wasn't happy with where I was at.
Okay.
But to go from that 180 to where I ended up was crazy. At one point, I looked at the scale and I was almost 260.
260.
260.
Whoa.
And
Okay.
I felt like, to me, I was just like
that wake up call.
That was it. It was a wake up call for me because that's the heaviest I've ever been.
Okay.
Ever. I was like 260.
I didn't know you didn't look 260.
Yeah, I dress well,
Yeah.
so yeah. But I saw that and I was just like, yo, this is wild.
Yeah.
Like I feel like even like I've always been big. I've always been big, but to be at that 260, I was like, yeah, this is OD. So I had to kind of to me, it was a wake up call. So for me, the actual wake up call to me was also something spiritual. I feel like God literally spoke to me. We was at. I don't tell people the story a lot, and I hate telling this story. But we was in Greece, vacation, me and four of my boys, and there was something that we were climbing something, and the Acropolis, right? We was climbing the Acropolis, and
where's that at?
In Greece.
Okay, in Greece. Okay.
In Athens.
Okay.
So we ended up going the wrong way. We ended up climbing this hill that was the wrong hill. So we had to. It was, mind you, going for
huge.
a minute. Yeah, we were going for a minute.
Okay.
Got to the top and said, "Oh, that's not where you need to go. You need to go over there." And mind you, we're looking at this thing eye to eye. At this point, that's how high up we are. Damn. So we go back down and we start going back up. Start going back up to where we need to go. And I'm looking. I'm just like, yo, I'm not doing this. Like, I'm not doing this. Like, I'm not.
Did you not feel like you can do it, or you just mentally didn't want to do it?
I didn't feel that I could do it. I think I got almost to the top.
Okay.
I got almost to the top. And my boys who went to the top, they told me like, you was almost there. And I turned back and I was like, yo, I can't do this. And I went back down. And as I was sitting there waiting for them, I heard God speak to me and told me, I cannot take you to where you need to be if you cannot get there. And for me, that was eye-opening. I was like, I need to get my life. I need to get my life together. And from there, I feel like I've been more cognizant about what I've been eating.
Was that point you were at the 260?
At that point, I was like, 260. Yeah.
Okay.
That was then. This was summer 21.
Okay.
But I feel like even then, I was still kind of playing around, not taking things serious. But then I started to, back in, I think, March of last year, I did a fast. I always fast once a year. March of last year, I'm like, before that, I was in the gym. I got back in the gym. I think from there, I dropped, like 20 pounds. Went from like 260 to like 240.
Okay.
And I was like, okay, I'm starting to see results. I'm in the gym. I'm doing the right things. And I was being consistent. Once a year, I always fast with my church.
I remember you told me that, yeah.
But I think I always do something called a Daniel fast, which basically it's like vegan, but it's way more than vegan. But I wanted to do something.
Way more strict, right?
Way more strict.
Okay.
I wanted to do something because there's no sugar, there's no honey.
Oh, yeah, I remember that. That's crazy.
It's a lot, yeah.
Okay.
It's basically just fruits and vegetables.
Okay.
But last year, I wanted to do something different than the Daniel fast. So I decided to do just one meal a day. And that one meal was always...
Like fasting?
Fasting, intermittent fasting. Just one meal a day. And instead of doing the Daniel fast, which you can eat all throughout the day. So I said, you know what? I'm just going to have water I can only eat one meal, and that's after 6 p.m. So
anytime after 6 p.m.
Anytime after 6 p.m.
Okay.
Whenever I make it home, but the meal has to be something healthy-ish.
What is healthy-ish?
What's healthy-ish? I'm not no fast food, no pizza.
Okay.
I'm not gonna waste that one meal on something that isn't good for me.
So no pizza.
No pizza, no burgers. Like it was always like good, like home cooked. Like it was like quality food.
Okay.
Like quality food. So I did that, and from doing that, I think I dropped down another 15 pounds.
Okay, that's a good drop.
In a 21-day span, and from there.
Oh, just with 21 days?
It was 21 days. It was crazy.
That's a lot of weight in 21 days.
I know, but that every time I fast and I lose weight, it motivates me.
Okay.
It motivates me to get back into to continue to go. While I was fasting, I was also in the gym. Mm-hmm. So I was also in the gym working out because I have goals and things that I want to reach.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Also getting married, and I want like Brian said, I'm trying to look good in the tux.
Yeah.
Like I'm trying to look good in the tux, and both of our weddings are in like hot places.
Let's go, man. No shirts, man. No shirts. No shirts.
Honestly, I was always a no shirt crew.
I figured it don't matter. It don't matter, bro.
Take all of this, man. I don't care. But for me, like that journey, it's still a journey. I'm still trying to remain consistent. Remain consistent and kind of like push myself to keep going to the gym. What
keeps you consistent at this point?
What keeps me consistent right now?
Because you could at any point just revert back to your normal ways.
It's the goal of never going back to what that weight was. Seeing that that 260 on the scale, never want to go back there. I think right now, from that 260, right now I'm about 220.
Okay.
So I think since that time, I think I've lost about 40 pounds. 40 pounds, I'm thinking about now, that's a lot of weight.
It's a lot of weight, man.
That's a lot of weight. I think I don't give myself enough credit for that.
That's a lot of weight, man. That's a lot of weight.
So I feel like I don't want to see anything over 225. Honestly.
Where's your goals?
What are my goals? Oh, I'm still trying to figure out the goals. If I'm honest.
So think about it.
When I was at my lowest, and I was close to like 180.
Okay.
I still was unhappy with where I was at. So I feel like to me it's hard for me to put a number on it because my target goal was always 180. That's what the doctors always said. Oh, for your height, you should be
180. What the doctors say.
You should be this.
Yeah, I don't listen to that.
Man. I got there, and I'm just like, and I'm still looking at myself, and I still have flags. I'm saying, this is what you wanted me at. Like,
if I talk to any doctor, I'm obese. I'm obese, guys. I'm just obese.
And that's something. Once again, that's something that I learned from Casey. You know, Casey taught me, like, hey, listen, the scale is cool, don't live and die by the scale.
No.
He said, because ultimately the scale is basing a lot of what you're doing on your water, everything else, eating factors. That can fluctuate every single day. He said, even now, like when I started my weight loss journey, I reached a point now where I'm like, I'm not living and dying by the scale anymore. I'm more so doing the eye test, the mirror test. How do I look?
And that's all I talk about. I always talk about the eye test. Like, don't worry about the scale, because the scale could be wrong in the sense where, do you feel good? Do you look good in your own eyes? And that's all that matters. I mean, obviously our insides and being healthy obviously matter, but if that outside looks good to you, the scale doesn't matter how much you weigh.
I had to learn that like the hard way, because I reached my target weight and I still was super unhappy. I was like, I said, this is it. I said, I guess this isn't enough.
Yeah.
And that's that battle between weight loss and fat loss, right?
Yeah.
Because we know that, fat and muscle can weigh the same, but the way that it looks on your body can look very different.
Correct.
And, when we have these conversations, it's very important to understand that, there's a difference between being 25% body fat, 30% body fat, and weighing 180, and being 15% body fat and weighing 180, right? Like, me and you can weigh the same weight, but we don't look the same.
We're completely different.
Right.
Yeah.
And for me, like, me and you had talked about this, it's still my goal. It's still the thing I'm pushing for. I want to get down underneath 15%. And you're like, hey, listen.
It's doable. It's super
hard.
doable.
It's hard. And you're like, you got to grind. And I'm like, listen, the grind for me is worth it because it's not just about the weight. For me, it's also about the look. I want to look good. And I'm not trying to be Superman, Super Jags. For me, the biggest piece of my goal is I want a little six-pack to poke through. Once I get there, it's like, all right, cool.
All right.
Right. I know the weight is off me. I got a six-pack. I got the shirt off.
When your stomach is like always kind of there, even when you have a belly, you know that you're kind of on the leaner side.
Right.
That's just math with your body. Like a couple months ago, my friend he begged me to do one of these like little tests at Lifetime Fitness to test my body fat.
Not the DEXA scan, but like one of those.
It was like I had to hold, like I had to hold it in my feet and things like that, and it measured everything. It came back 15.2% body fat. But then it had like my leg muscles were even. I'm like, God, how the hell are your leg muscles even? And things like that. But I'm like, I told him like, there's no way I'm guaranteeing I'm 20% body fat. He said I came back 15. I'm like, how? But it's just probably because of my activity level and just the way I pushed at the gym. And at that point, I didn't do a lot of cardio. But now I'm like 30 minutes of cardio every single workout, at the end of every single workout, just because I feel better too. Like my health, I mean, my heart just feels good. I'm pumping it. I'm pushing it every single day. And,
That's another thing for me. I feel like for me, I feel like at our age, we need like if we're going to get active, it's not something that can wait any longer because we're getting old. And if you look at these professional athletes who get paid to do whatever it is that they're doing, whatever sport that they're doing, they are in their 30s. This is where they are past the peak.
Yeah, they're kind of coming down now.
They are coming down. They're unable to do things that they were able to do in their
rookie
20s.
season, right?
And these are people that their life they get paid to
be athletes.
To be athletes.
Professionals.
I'm not a professional athlete.
I neither.
You know what I mean? So if they coming off of their prime in their 30s, and for me not being a professional, if I don't do this now,
when you're doing it, like at that point, you're going to set yourself back years if you start when you're in your 40s.
I'm looking at like LeBron. LeBron is what, 37, I think, or whatever. How old?
Nah, you gotta be old. I think you're older than that at this point. He was freaking 40 years old, man.
LeBron, still amazing athlete.
Yeah.
But he's still not the same athlete he was in his 20s. So if LeBron is on the decline,
we definitely on the decline. We definitely on the decline.
Who am I to think that I can start after him?
Speak for yourself, guys.
I guess.
I'm still.
This man's still in his 20s,
grinding.
Well, this man's still in his 20s,
grinding it out.
Okay.
Yeah, this still man in his 20s. I ain't in my.
It's a roller coaster ride.
It'll hit that top point soon, bro. Don't worry about it.
Eventually gonna come down.
It's gonna hit that top point at some point. You're gonna have to stay up, or it's gonna start coming down, and you know that already.
That's something my brother told me. He's like, you see LeBron? Look how old LeBron is. LeBron, he's not the same that he used to be. So what makes you think that you can wait any longer?
He spends millions on his body,
I don't
bro.
got millions. Not yet. Not yet.
He spends a lot of money to stay in shape.
And you can still see that age is hitting him.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, like, we not trying to perform like him, but like if we're in our 30s. You're almost in your 30s. We just have to consistently stay active to keep our body moving, and that's the most important thing. Stay active, still doing sports. You ball in the summer.
Yeah, I've been playing ball all summer.
What you do?
Me, I'm just straight up, in the gym,
Yo,
man.
bro, you gonna have to just come to the Jersey, bro. We gonna have the gym in the summer, bro.
We gonna run back.
That's
I'll
it,
run
bro.
back, man. We can go run back. Get some hoops up.
It's the youth in the church that be like,
it keeps you active
during the summertime.
Yeah.
Oh, Mark, let's go play ball. I'm like, let's do it. Yeah, we put a basketball hoop in the backyard of the church in the church parking lot over the summer.
Damn.
So they be like, yo, Mark, let's play basketball. I said, cool. Let's keep me active.
You know, I haven't picked up a basketball in I want to say like 7 years.
7 years.
Yeah, so 7 years ago, I told myself, no more basketball, straight up weights.
Why?
Because I kept getting injured and I kept having like arguments on the basketball court. Because it was almost like every time somebody bumped me, I wanted to fight them.
Yeah, basketball not for you.
It's not, bro. It's not.
How do you feel like in regards to sports injuries? How does that affect you now, as with your current workout regimen? And I know me and you have spoken about how in college you were running track and everything else like that. But you have wear and tear that comes with all these sports.
100%.
How do you feel like that affects you now as an athlete? Now that you're no longer competing in those sports, but I have the war wounds to show for.
I'm still broken up, man. You gotta I'm 30. Like the difference between being 30 and 20. I actually have to stretch before my workouts. I cannot go into this cold or I'm pulling something.
Yo, I'm playing with these kids over the summertime.
You gotta warm up. You gotta stretch. If not, you pulling hamstrings. You pulling things out your arm you didn't even know existed, bro.
So, mind you, I think the oldest one that I play with out of them has to be like 26. So I'm playing.
And they can go into a cold, right? They can just start balling, right? I can't do that.
The first time over the summer I went to play, I was like, all right, yo. When I left, I was just like, yo, I had a pain that I never felt before. It was my hand, not my hamstring, my groin.
Okay.
Like I pulled the groin. I was like, yo, how?
Bro.
So now they be weak because every time they hold up before I'll be here.
Yeah, bro, you have to, bro.
Give me 10 minutes, shoot around.
Bro, you have to, bro. You have to because during COVID brought back my love of running. I thought I was young again. I went to the track. I started sprinting, pulled my hamstring, pulled it out. I'm like, yo. I said, I cannot do this cold. And I did not stretch. I thought I could do it. And then, it's just like we gotta stretch. You get older, we gotta do our warm-ups. We can't just do these things cold anymore, man.
We're playing ball every day because some of these kids are in high school. So summertime, so they out.
Yeah.
Like, let's go. We outside. So I'm like,
I'm hurting, bro.
I need a day or two. Like, I can't do this every day.
I'm hurting, man. I be hurting nowadays.
And then they wanted to play full court one time. I said,
all that running?
I said, hold on.
All that running?
Hold on.
I can't. That is too much running for me.
But like I said, at this age, we gotta stay active now because it only gets worse. From here, it doesn't get easier. It does not get easier. But I still feel good though.
Yeah, definitely. No, I get you. I want to go into a little bit of basketball because I know we all three basketball fans. A couple weeks ago, the All-Star weekend, that crappy weekend came by. What did y'all think about that?
It wasn't that bad. You know what
I mean? I mean, I'm talking about the weekend.
The weekend?
Not just the All-Star game, that crappy game we ended up having to see on TV. What y'all think about that?
I think if I had to compare the competitiveness or I guess the will to want to be in the game, if I had to compare that to, when the early 2000s.
You can't compare it to
no, I'm just saying the guys that play now, they just don't seem like they're interested in it as much as they were in the early 2000s. When I think about some of these guys not wanting to participate in the dunk contest, not wanting to,
because every year they bash LeBron for not doing it. Every
year.
But
at this point, we're so far past it. It's like,
what you say?
If we talk about some of the participants that were in the weekend, like Anthony Edwards, who was a right-handed shooter, who decided everything this weekend I'm going to do with the left hand.
I wanted to talk about that.
Like,
did he just not take the skill competition
I don't think he didn't take the weekend. He didn't take the weekend.
I saw
seriously
shooting 3-pointers with his. Well, he's a righty.
He's a left. He's a right-handed.
He's a right, but he was shooting in his left, not even hitting the basket. Like, what was going on? Like,
because
clearly he was just playing around.
He was not in the mindset to compete.
No, he was playing around.
Clearly, and then we gotta talk about Scotty Barnes. We gotta talk about Scotty Barnes. What was that, son? What was that? But that's two examples of these of NBA players that were part of the weekend that were not competing.
One thing shows me another one that points out to me that who wasn't competing, and people laughed about it, was when Jaylen Brown jumped over
Kai Cenat
1.5 foot chair. Man jumped a foot and a half off the ground over this short man.
I can jump over Kai Cenat.
Anybody can jump over him, bro. He's 4 feet tall.
Right, he's got to be like 5'3",
4'8".
I'm gonna go by his real height. He's got to be like 5'3", 5'4". At least if you're gonna put him in a chair, let him stand him up in the chair.
That's bro.
You had him sit down. It's almost like you just jumping over the chair.
But he made it to the finals.
It's because the dunk contest is gone to crap these days, bro.
Or, for example, you got, shout outs to McClung. I think he's a great dunker. Mm-hmm. But let's be realistic. What NBA roster is he playing on?
He's on the Sixers G League team.
Right, but
he's on the G League team.
You mean to tell me out of all the players we have in the NBA on actual NBA rosters, none of you want to dunk for the dunk contest?
No, but clearly not. It's because it's, at the end of the day, like...
Man,
you know why?
It hurts my feelings because when I think about the dunk contest, I'm not even talking about the 90s. We're talking,
2000s?
Right. Nate Robinson.
Aaron Gordon and Zach LaVine.
I'm even talking about...
Nate Robinson, Gerald Green.
Vince Carter? Like Vince Carter's early 2000s dunk?
Like Jason Richardson.
But think about all the iconic dunks, right? So even Blake Griffin.
Three times.
Blake Griffin jumping over the key. Right?
That was corny, but that was different.
It was still iconic.
Yes,
right.
It's still iconic.
Correct.
Gerald Green blowing out the candle on the cupcake.
That's
fire. That's
top tier.
That's fire, though. That's fire.
Nate Robinson, even
jumping over Shaq.
Right, but even Howard. Right, that's what I was gonna say. Even the antics, like, oh, you think you're Superman? Well, I'm like Bizarro. Like
I need that throwback. Nate Robinson green.
The green jersey.
I need
that.
It's fire. It's fire.
We don't have any of those moments anymore.
No,
and
absolutely not.
I feel for the younger generation of people that are watching basketball because it's like you guys are getting a subpar product. Like there was a point where everybody would get together to watch this weekend.
Absolutely.
Because it was huge.
Absolutely.
Now
I don't think it pulls the same appeal that it used to. Like especially the celebrity game.
The celebrity game.
I don't really think it was celebrity because half
I
people we didn't even
10 minutes of it.
I watched the highlights, but like you didn't know most of the people in the game.
That's a fact.
So the question then becomes, how do we incentivize these players to actually want to participate in the All-Star Weekend?
Is it money? Is it I don't know. Like for example, like just what would you change about All-Star Weekend moving forward?
I heard an NBA player talking about it, right?
Okay.
I think it might have been Melo who was talking about watching 7 p.m. in Brooklyn. Melo was talking about it. He said for them it's not fair because
to who is not fair?
To the people who are participating in the All-Star.
Okay.
That's not fair to them because All-Star for everybody else is a vacation where they have a week off of work where they don't have to play NBA games. So that's the time they usually take trips.
Well, that's for everyone. I look at it as like that's for the players. That's for the bums who didn't make the All-Star team. Like,
yeah, but that's what he said. What he said was All-Star Week should be. He said that time off. That time off should be longer.
So you make it like 2 weeks.
So
like a 2 week, almost like a spring break type.
Because I remember it was some player that was a couple years back. I don't remember who it was, but he came as a replacement.
Okay.
Like he ended up replacing somebody who got injured. He booked the trip and he was like, "Damn, I gotta cancel my trip now and go to All-Star Weekend." Yeah. Like, and I feel like they look because you imagine these NBA players.
They look forward to that break.
They're playing 3 to 4 games a week. So now you have this 1 week of vacation that you don't have to work, and you have to work. And I heard them talking about. They said All-Star Weekend is way more hectic than the regular week because you got to go to this event.
You got to do the media stuff.
Yeah, the media, all the people talking.
They said it's not enjoyable.
It's probably like Super Bowl weekend, man. All the press and people out there trying to talk to you, podcast you up. all that good stuff.
So by the time they get to the games and to compete,
they're out of it.
They're
just there.
So I feel like when I thought about it, that doesn't make sense. If you're looking at the scrubs who are trash, who on vacation in Dubai.
True. I did hear somebody talk about it. I forgot who spoke about it, but they spoke about maybe just turning the All-Star game into like a 3-on-3 competition where some of the All-Stars like not Kobe, but like LeBron and Steph pick a team of maybe G League players or rookies and just have 3-on-3 tournaments. That maybe be more appealing than these guys just shooting up half-court shots left and right. Like,
do you guys watch the Big Three?
Sometimes.
I've been.
Often?
Sometimes.
I've been.
Not often,
I've actually
but
went
sometimes.
Because you have to get the 3-on-3 is like the Big Three.
Definitely.
I don't really watch the Big Three like that, so I don't know.
But that's a whole season.
But
this
it's
is one game.
I feel like 5-on-5 is just more fun than 3-on-3.
But these guys are not really playing. They're not competitive. They're just throwing the ball around. Half court shot this, half court shot that, layup, no D.
Also, I think it depends on which players are in the game because the way the game is played now is very different than it was 10, 15 years ago, right?
Yeah.
So if we're talking about like watching the All-Star game, right? Jokic, like Nikola, the All-Star game setup is not. It's not appealing. No, he does deserve it, but it's just not.
Deserve what?
He's boring to watch.
He's not an above the rim player, right?
Obviously.
So I watched the All-Star game for the alley-oops and the dunks and Lillard shooter from half court.
Do we see all that? Like,
right, so we get some of it, but like Jokic, when he gets the ball, he's gonna do what he does best, which is I'm gonna assist it, right? And it's cool.
It's not finesse.
But it's like Steve Nash and John Stockton. These guys were on big teams. But the assists are great. The flair is cool, but it's like it's only.
But look at this. Like, I feel like because of the All-Star game, the flair should be 10 times more. Like, force it, so we are entertained. Because at the end of the day, this is a sport for entertainment purposes, nothing else. Entertainment purposes. They get all this money because you're entertaining us.
And I think ultimately that's why we're also getting somewhat of a subpar product now because it's like. Do you think Jaylen Brown cares about being in a dunk contest?
No, 100% no.
He has a $300 million contract. I'm getting $300 million regardless if you guys like it or not.
100%, I agree.
You know what it is? I'm telling you what happened. When Aaron Gordon got robbed twice, he scared everybody.
Because he was a real dunker and he lost.
He was dirty. He should have won at least one of them joints.
Yeah, that was robbery. That was robbery.
I feel like because of that, they don't want to do it.
But so based on that, it's also you could say the same thing for the 3-point contest because it's like
that was fire though.
No, but look, follow me. If everybody shoots right, and then we say we're gonna have a separate competition between Sabrina and Steph. Yeah. But then Steph
was bullfire though.
But look, Steph is so good. He's basically banned from the 3-point contest because he did
compete though, right?
I've seen Steph lose 3-point contest.
No, look, follow. This year alone. The competition that he had with Sabrina, right? Yeah. He hit more threes than everybody that shot. If he would have did the same thing in the actual 3-point contest, he wins.
But wasn't he in the 3-point competition? He lost.
No, I'm not saying he hasn't lost in the past. I'm just talking about.
He wasn't in it this year.
Not this year, no.
No, he wasn't in it this year.
No. Oh, he wasn't.
He was just shooting against Sabrina.
Yeah,
I thought he was in.
No. He just shot against Sabrina. But even when he shot against Sabrina, he hit more threes than everybody else.
Yeah, and they said Sabrina would have won.
She would
have beat the men.
Yeah, she would.
Which I think is great for WNBA basketball.
She had women's ball.
No.
She had women's ball.
She was shooting from the 3-point line, though.
But she shot from the men's line, though. She shot from the men's line, though.
Women's ball.
She shot from the men's line, though.
But I understand that.
But she shot from the men's line, though.
I understand she shot from the men's line, but.
Come on, she got women hands, so that's fine.
Okay, so here's my thing. Here's my thing. I'm not gonna let you disrespect the women
Don't
like
do
this.
that. Don't
because
do that.
At the end of the day, their game, they have to be extra skilled in certain aspects because they're not. There's no above the rim.
Not above the rim.
I am not saying that she's not a great shooter. She did amazing.
So you're gonna blame it? So the ball.
But I feel like
But that's not fair to give her a men's ball. Though.
You gonna do this in Women's Month?
It's women appreciation. Come on, man.
We're not
Come on, man. Don't do that to her.
We're gonna have to scrap this part.
Don't do that.
I'm just saying. But okay, my mindset, right? If we're gonna if we're competing together, there should be no one should be given handicaps.
I wouldn't call that a handicap though.
Isn't it like it's like?
So you're gonna give him the women's ball?
Right.
Then he's not used to it.
Then the same ball.
You cannot. But she doesn't play with that ball.
He's gonna shoot with the women's ball and shoot it with one hand, like.
It's not.
The only way she was gonna really beat Steph is he would have to have one hand tied behind his back with a blindfold on.
You mean Steph still could have lost?
100%. And
Steph still could have lost.
What he won? He won by 1, right?
I think it was 2, but still, he hit a lot of
two?
shots,
No,
man.
I am not taking anything.
Sounds
away
like
from
you
her.
are.
No, she shot the hell out them joints.
Yeah, with the
And
women's ball.
Yes, with the women's ball. But my thing is, like I said, if we're all competing in the same contest, everybody should be competing the same way.
They are, man. It's just a ball.
It makes a difference.
That's not a big difference.
I would
though.
agree with your argument if they would have made her shoot from the WNBA 3-point line.
Then that's disrespectful.
I'm like,
Then you can't compare the competition.
Right. But for me, the fact
from
that
the men's line.
the fact that she's shooting from the men's line at that 3, it means a lot because it's further back and it's showing her range, man. It is a WNBA ball,
You don't think she could do that with a men's ball?
I think
she's not used to a men's ball.
I just think in general, we're talking about hand size and everything else involved with that. It's like, why are we? I don't know.
I thought they say shooters shoot.
They do.
Yeah, with a ball they're used to shooting with. You can't give her a men's ball and expect her to be okay
I
with
don't
shooting
think the
a
ball
men's
was I don't think the ball was a greater advantage for her.
No,
I don't.
I don't
So
think
if
so.
the ball was not a great event, why can't she do it with a men's ball then?
I think
So why don't we just give Clay a women's ball?
Then give Clay a women's ball.
But he's not used to it.
But then that's like saying
whole
we
point
might
is
as well just make the ball universal for WNBA and NBA.
Why not?
We cannot do that. They have tiny hands. Ish.
guess.
Tinier hands.
Do they?
Some of them
I think it
do.
depends.
Some of them
I
do.
feel like it depends on the athlete. There are some NBA players who got smaller hands than other players.
Well, yeah, I guess it's person to
It
person.
depends on the person. Like Brittany
Yeah.
Griner, who's 6'9", you think she got small hands?
She got big ass
So
hands.
what? So now let me ask you a question now. So if it was her going against Steph Curry,
She can't shoot though.
She's still gonna lose.
She's gonna lose. She
still
can't
gonna
shoot.
lose.
would you not give? Would you not give her a regular ball?
No, I'm
No,
not
she's
because she
taking
doesn't.
WNBA ball because we're talking about Steph Curry. WNBA, NFL football, MLB baseball, golf ball. You can give him whatever you want. I'm gonna outshoot you. I'm gonna outshoot you. It doesn't matter what you're
It
holding.
don't matter,
Brittany
bro.
Griner, the USA's
It
greatest trade.
don't matter, bro.
The USA's greatest trade.
It don't matter. So, all right, I got another question for you. If the season ended today, NBA season, who in the finals? Who y'all both picking that's gonna be in the
The season
finals?
ended
I
today.
need y'all both opinion on this.
East Coast is easy.
Boston.
Who's that?
Boston Celtics.
Well,
Boston.
yeah, because they're freaking a beasting, bro.
They are
Boston.
number 1 in offensive efficiency.
You're not
defensive
gonna pick the
efficiency.
Knicks out here, man.
I love the Knicks.
Brunson not bro, like Brunson hurt right now.
But honestly,
Wait. I heard he played the other night though.
Brunson played yesterday.
Okay.
Brunson did play yesterday.
The
But
Knicks.
the Celtics have they're
They're in a
How,
different league.
how are they affording all these players?
how they afford
Like how they got Brown and
So
This
and
is a
Tatum
rookie
on that
contract.
contract?
no, remember Brown is re-signed for the $300 million.
He the highest player in the NBA right now, man.
Yes, right now.
That don't
currently.
make sense. But
No, but Tatum's going to get his pay. What really happens is because I think me and you were talking about this too. So, Poole, right, when he got traded to Washington, right? I thought he was already getting paid on his extension because
he was $100 million 4 years, right?
no, it didn't start yet. So when he got traded, technically,
So
Golden
that contract didn't
State.
start yet?
Hold on, Golden State didn't have to eat any of the salary because they had given him basically like I guess maybe like a gap year or something. So he was still getting paid his rookie salary while he was on Golden State. Then they traded him to Washington. So now Washington is in the position where
Pay all that.
right, which I'm like,
his, his
did you guys
extension.
not see a red flag? They just extended him and now they want to trade him. Something's wrong here.
Well, I don't think too much was wrong with him. I just think the
They chose Draymond.
they chose Draymond over him.
They chose Draymond.
And Draymond on a podcast recently said that he may have 2 or 3 years left.
Who, him? Draymond
Yeah,
himself?
he said it. He
Well,
said he
which
may have
two?
2 or 3 years left.
Three.
I think it's less than that.
If they didn't renew Draymond's contract, the Warriors, he'd be
Because-
on his way out.
He said he would almost line it up. If Curry decided to leave, he would line it up with Curry.
Of course.
He said Curry and Clay.
They should go out together.
Of course.
Yeah, but I
Clay
think
Clay on his way out right now.
yeah, Clay been on his way out, but
Honestly, I
Curry
always,
could
I
play- he could still
always
keep playing.
thought, like hot take, y'all may not agree. But I always thought Clay was overrated.
no, we all knew that though.
But this is not.
But the league, they boosted
even
him
in his
up.
prime, I don't think if you put Clay in a different system that he'd be able to carry a team the way.
But that's the
Curry
same thing
is.
with Draymond Green.
Oh, no,
you think about that system, he's a bum.
No, but we knew that though.
Yeah.
but that was never the rhetoric around play.
I think ultimately Draymond had talked about this on the podcast recently, where it's about the mindset, man. So he said Mark Jackson at practices was standing there telling them, "You guys are the greatest shooters to ever shoot a basketball. You are the greatest backcourt to ever touch." The two of you, right, are the greatest. And Draymond said, "I'm looking at him like, are you crazy? Now does he sound so crazy? Nah.
No.
Right? So it's about the mindset. You got to believe you're the best in order to achieve whatever the goals are that you have, even if nobody else is believing it in the moment.
I think that's what happened with Washington. They thought Jordan Poole was the best, and look what happened to them.
Yeah, man. But you were talking about the original topic was who we think be coming out of the East, who's coming out of the West.
I think Boston will come out the East.
Yeah, I got Boston.
Okay.
And right now for the West, I gotta go with my boys.
It's a lot,
OKC coming out the West.
You can't just have an MVP and expect to come out the East.
Have you watched OKC games?
Not much this
They
year.
are a cohesive unit. Them boys are good.
You would pick them over the Bucks or
The West? Over.
Wait, the West or the Bucks in the East?
No, Bucks in the East. Okay. So
Okay,
for me,
also the West. You have
I think OKC is.
you have the Nuggets. You
I'll
go the
pick
Nuggets.
them over the Nuggets.
If I had the 7-game series with Denver versus OKC, I'm going to have to go with Denver. And it's purely based off
because of player
experience.
matchups, right?
It's experience, too.
Okay.
OKC is one of the youngest teams in the league. I don't think they have enough experience yet to be able to beat Denver.
I feel like in the NBA that's not a
They
big
got some dogs.
that's not a big play.
No, listen, I love the
They
team.
got some dogs.
But don't you think in the
love
NBA like you could have? I don't think that's a big deal experience
Nah,
in the NBA.
It does make a difference.
think so?
Because
It does?
when you're going 7 games and these guys are dragging you, right? Because you got to think about it. They got to beat you 4 times.
Yeah,
And
true.
what suck is like if you know like I'm Shea, right? I'm SGA or I'm Chet Holmgren, right? And I'm going up against Jokic, and he's killing me.
Yeah.
And I just can't. He just got my number.
Effortlessly.
Woo, just like
What do you do with that?
Jokic remind me of Rick James.
Shoot the ball. Shoot it.
Shoot the J. Shoot it.
But just in general, especially with somebody like Jokic, who, even with the conversations now, it's like, he's the greatest nugget to ever wear the jersey, man. Like,
already.
Don't let Melo hear you say that.
it's true.
Yeah, already. Well, Melo wasn't there long enough.
Melo ever brought them a championship?
Nah, Joker got.
Who else has
Joker
brought
got,
Denver a championship?
Nobody.
Exactly. So there's no other
That was
conversation.
their first championship, right?
Yes.
And he got 2 MVPs.
Franchise history.
Yes.
And he got 2 MVPs.
He's the greatest nugget to ever wear the jersey.
He should have 3.
He should have to.
He
should have
They
3.
give it to him.
He should never give it to him.
But
I blame
Yeah.
Perkins because Perkins talking about, the only reason why he got that MVP, the only reason why, because he's white. I said, what? No, bro, don't do that.
Don't do that.
Don't do that.
His game is too real,
dogging.
bro. He's dogging. His game is too real for that.
Homer, Embiid is good. But I don't think Embiid was playing.
He's not
better than
reliable,
Jokic.
bro. No, and he's not
You
reliable.
said
He's
that
hurt
this
all the time.
season.
No, every year he's hurt, bro.
he
He
was-
misses 20.
Nah,
He
he
misses
was-
20 games a year, bro.
he was-
20 games a
he was
year.
good last
Come on, 20
20
games. How many games he missed last year? 15 to 20 at least.
You have to check
That's why they put that new rule in. But that's why they put that new rule in because of him, bro. Because of him.
So
He
I
kept
look at it
missing
like
too many
this.
games.
Embiid is an amazing talent, but it's hard for me to really want to be on his side when I see what Jokic is doing.
Nah, Jokic is balling.
And Jokic, he's playing every
He
game.
don't even try.
He don't get hurt.
Every
So
game.
it's hard for me to be like, yo, Embiid, you are a
Yeah.
generational talent, but you're just extremely injury prone.
Facts.
There's somebody that's basically the same size as you, same height. He's killing it just as much, and he's playing every game. But he also comes from a different system. He comes from a different background. They play differently over there in Europe, man.
So,
So
yeah.
I actually want to go to a game. I seen a clip. It looks madness.
Euro basketball?
It
Bro,
looks
it's
crazy.
crazy. It's crazy over there.
Crazy,
Let's go.
bro.
It's crazy
I
over
seen
there.
they had like
Talking about like the
flamethrowers.
flamethrowers.
They throwing flags. I
Bro,
seen
they
this
said-
one black guy. He was there. He was like, "Yo, this is amazing."
They said compare that game here.
Right.
They're not afraid to get on the court and all that yapping because over there it's different. It's like
like
NBA
soccer.
over there. They ain't care. It's like
football,
NBA over there is
excuse me.
soccer, bro. The way they act in European soccer is crazy.
Nah, facts.
European soccer is crazy.
So I think we should choose a East and West, like a guaranteed finals picks, and then our dark horses, like somebody that you're like can sneak, that can sneak in there, right? So I think the Celtics is definitely a guaranteed.
Who can sneak in on the East? Who can sneak in on the East?
A healthy New York. A healthy New York.
I don't know. Which New York team?
Come on, bro. Brooklyn not even gonna make the playoffs. Honestly, right? I feel like, y'all Knicks fans, y'all Knicks. But realistically, right? The Knicks this season actually did good during the trade deadline.
100%. No, they made a great trade.
Not gonna lie.
No, they made a good trade.
If the Knicks come back healthy,
but they're not healthy.
But if Mitch Robinson come back, Julius Randle come back, and we picked up OG. You know what I mean? Picked up the Bogdanovich. Picked up Burke.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Who's the dude from Toronto?
OG Anunoby.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And OG Anunoby is arguably one of the best defenders in the league.
That trade was crazy good for them.
Defense wins you championships.
Yep.
So, you know what I'm saying? So I feel like if you have a healthy OG and a healthy Mitch Robinson, that's
different.
lock up.
It's different.
So it like I'm not like I feel like people Knicks fans always talking about this year's our year, but really and truly a healthy Knicks, son, is something to worry about. Tell me I'm
I don't know if the league wants that.
I'll tell you.
I don't know if the league wants that.
No, the league wants that. When the Knicks are playing good, MSG tickets are expensive, and the league gets that revenue. When the Knicks are good, the league is happy.
Listen, I don't disagree with you, but I feel like, unfortunately, the Knicks are caught in the same loop and cycle as the Dallas Cowboys. Highest rated franchise.
That's a good comparison.
They make a lot of money.
Bro.
Everybody wants to go to the Star.
That is a great
Everybody
comparison.
wants to play for the Knicks.
That is a great.
They're gonna do us dirty every single time without fail. And I think personally, the roster is probably the best roster they've had in a very long time. But for me, your coach and his game management in regards to minutes. He's going to drive those boys
playing 48 minutes
into the ground. And it's not going to be good.
For the longevity of the season, it's not good.
So, do I think that they can win something? Yes. Do I think they can even potentially make it to maybe even like a semifinal or a final? Sure.
No Eastern Conference Cardinals?
If I have to, they're going to go up against Boston?
I mean, they're going to lose, but I mean, they can make it.
It's very possible, but you got to get through.
Healthy Knicks team.
They have to. You got to think about
a healthy Knicks team against a healthy Boston team.
Which teams do they have to get through, right? In the East, outside of the Celtics. Let's take the Celtics and put them on their own planet, right?
Sixers.
If Embiid comes back, that's tough.
Sixers.
How's Miami this year?
Miami is always Miami.
Dark horse. I don't know. I don't get them boys.
Miami is always Miami.
Facts.
Because of the coach.
Facts. So okay, realistically, it's the Bucks, the Celtics, the Sixers.
Oh, and then and New York is the top four.
Right.
Yeah, but also Cavaliers have been playing very well.
Right, and that's another sneaky team.
Very well. Donovan Mitchell.
Don't be being your bias in with Donovan Mitchell, bro.
No, but really and truly, the Cavs are they were like a crazy win streak.
Okay.
They've been playing really well. Orlando Magic too.
That's another dark horse team, man.
Orlando Magic.
Yeah, they're playing very well.
I mean,
too.
I don't know if you've been watching them on League Pass, but
don't watch Orlando Magic.
Casey, you never heard the song? Orlando Magic.
Orlando Magic.
Paolo Banchero. I don't want to hope I'm not butchering his name, but a lot of people thought he would be good. They didn't think he was going to be this good.
Yeah.
He's been playing lights out. He's really leading the franchise into their next generation, and their team is set up very similarly to OKC. Very, very young, a lot of strong talent. All they really need to do is, I think they need maybe a little bit more direction in regards to a stronger coach, maybe, and maybe make a trade for a strong superstar presence.
I think they need a point guard. I don't think Cole Anthony gonna.
Well, I mean, they got Anthony. It was Black, right? Is the other guy?
Who's the other point guard?
They just drafted a point guard as well. They can't get it right because they got Suggs, Anthony, Fultz.
Facts.
They're trying.
Facts.
But I think they're a dark horse team.
Wagner's.
There may be a couple pieces away.
They're playing
from making
very
it fit.
well this season as well.
Okay.
Surprisingly, but I think to me, I feel like we're missing somebody.
From the East?
Yeah. So like I said, the Bucks, the Celtics, the Sixers. I feel like there's one more team that's another sleeper team.
On the east side.
On the East. I guess that'll be it.
That'll be it.
Miami, like I said, and Miami's always Miami. You can never count them out.
Miami's always Miami. But there's a lot of teams that weren't expected to do good that are doing really good.
Doing good. That's like we like the sports, bro. That's how we like it, man. We don't want to see the same teams winning over and over again. Like going back to like football, bro. I can't stand Kansas City winning all the time, bro. Man, Mahomes is ass, man.
You don't like seeing Taylor Swift?
I don't want to see no Swifty shit, bro. Fuck all that Swifty shit, bro. I don't need to see it. I know, like, I don't care about all that Swifty shit. Like, cool, it helped the league. I didn't care that they were giving her airtime. But this ain't fucking football, bro. Like, I need football. I don't need to see her face.
I promise you, there's somebody out there in the world that's saying that they won because Taylor Swift.
Bro, I think the league did that. I think the league, quote unquote, drove it that way because Kansas City wasn't doing well until Taylor Swift came in the picture. We all know
that Taylor Swift brings a certain demographic to the airwaves for their watching and the viewership.
I don't need that.
You don't need it, but the NFL need it for their bottom line. You know,
what bottom line do they need that for, bro? The NFL is still the most making football. I mean, most making sports.
Greed. Exactly. Greed. Okay, we're making the most money. We want more money. How do we make more?
Why do we got to be greedy for it though? Why do we got to be greedy for it though?
It goes back to what I said about desires of the flesh. We are human. That's what it is.
Well, why can't we just get comfortable with a certain amount and just be cool? Why we gotta try to just keep going further and further when we don't need to? Like,
that's always the goal in life, is to go further and further.
But that's what every drug dealer said until they got caught.
I guess Taylor Swift was the drug for the NFL this season. That's what it was.
So that's what I'm saying. Don't be surprised if you don't see like. I think Rich Paul is dating Adele. Don't be surprised if you start seeing more of them. Oh, turn the camera to Adele.
It is. I'm okay with that. They said Taylor gonna have the halftime show next year.
Get out of here. Nobody's gonna watch that.
No. Jay-Z not giving that to her. Get out of here with that shit.
Listen, she gets the halftime show. Put your ticket in for Kansas City winning a championship.
Yeah, 100%.
Because they'll be in the game.
100%.
I don't know.
I don't really know her music like that.
I don't want to embarrass myself right now. So
I heard it's all about emotional heartbreak. A little bit of this, a little bit of that.
She has a song with Ice Spice.
I don't know that one.
I heard she do because they're friends.
Ice Spice. Yeah, Ice Spice was in the she was in the movie.
I seen that because every time they pan to Taylor Swift,
the thing
Ice
is,
Spice right next to her.
I originally saw that she brought her on stage one time on one of her tours.
Taylor or Ice Spice?
Taylor brought Ice Spice on stage when she performed at MetLife.
I love that for Ice Spice though. I do. You know what I'm saying, as someone, as a New Yorker and a rapper, I love that.
And it's that drill, and she brought a drill rapper on there too, which is different.
That for her. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, which is nice little collab. Nice little collab.
You know what I'm saying?
Fan of what?
I feel like you making faces. Like, I love that for Ice Spice. You don't care.
Ice Spice. Wait, we're getting off topic.
Facts.
West Coast Dark Horse NBA.
Y'all pick that? I thought we picked that team.
No, we got the East Coast Dark Horse. Okay. We got the West. We got to finish off the West.
If I put my feelings aside, because I really would like to see OKC.
I know who his is. He got LeBron in them. You know.
The Lakers all the way.
Let's stay in LA. The Clippers.
They're playing some scary basketball, man.
I don't need no Clippers in there, man.
The Clippers.
I don't like Kawhi.
I think the Clippers have a really good chance of upsetting a lot of teams in the playoffs.
I mean, they're good, but it's like they're the Clippers.
But they're not the Clippers no more.
They're the Clippers.
Son, Harden, Westbrook,
I can't stand Harden.
Kawhi, Paul George. Like, that's a solid four, and they're all playing very well.
And they're all from LA.
Facts.
That's the other scary part about it. They're literally they're all balling for their home team.
That's a fact.
So it's kind of like it's a different type of drive. It's like, nah, guys, we gotta win this.
But Westbrook did get hurt. But I don't think Westbrook is necessarily.
He's not the catalyst. But
you don't really help him like that, though.
Nah, he helps.
No, he helped, but he don't really
I think that the Clippers
like that.
The Clippers are a dark horse. Do not sleep on that. I think they're gonna make some noise.
So what you think? Who gonna come out the West?
I think
if you had to choose today.
If I had to choose today, one team or
one team out the club. Yeah, one team out the West. Who you taking today? If the season ended today.
If the season ended today.
If the season ended today, who you taking?
If Westbrook wasn't hurt, I would say the Clippers. Realistically.
Nah, let's say everybody healthy.
If everybody healthy, I'm taking the Clippers.
You taking the Clippers? Who you
I'm
taking?
taking a healthy Clippers
I'm taking
team.
Denver. My West Coast team, my beloved
I just don't see them
Nuggets.
repeating. I just have a hard time seeing them repeating.
Okay.
I just can't.
It's hard to stop that
Jokic
boy.
don't even like to play basketball.
Don't be upset that my team and their West
live
Coast
his
prowess
life, bro.
because he has a passion for race horses
You
and
don't-
water polo.
You don't remember after the Jokic, are you excited for the parade? I want to go home. You know, like, come on.
What you expect, bro? He live his life, bro. He want to live his life,
Yo,
bro.
that's what I'll say.
He don't live around
Him
basketball.
and Luka, man, they kill me when they're like
Yeah,
being
nah.
regular. They're like, yeah, let's go get some beers and watch.
The thing is,
watch water polo.
when I see Luka out there, it seems like Luka just having fun.
Facts.
And then after basketball, he just chilling. Like,
It's unfortunate that he ain't gonna win nothing. Not the way he play. That team that they got over there in Dallas is not winning anything.
not even with Kyrie. He's not helping him
With Kyrie.
because he don't help nobody out,
I
right?
feel like Kyrie. I don't think Kyrie's a good fit for Luka. Honestly,
He's a ball, like he hits the ball in his hand. Like they both need the ball in
I
their
know.
hand.
Luka's the point guard.
No, what I'm saying, they both need the ball in their hand to succeed, though. Like Kyrie's the person who needs to bring the ball up.
neither one of them play defense.
Well, Kyrie has no D though.
And Luka, if you watch, he don't play any defense.
He's always been known for that his whole career to not play D
his
though.
whole
That's
career.
nothing
Luka's still
new
fairly
though.
New. How weak.
What you mean? He been in the league for what, 5 years at this point? Like
That's a great
a
question,
minute, bro.
He's been in the league for 5 years. He's dropping what? I think he has
30 a point, 30 a game?
No, but didn't he have like a 70-point game recently or something like that? Some crazy number. It was like a week where like 4 people had like
70s.
right. How do you feel about the prospect of someone like Luka breaking LeBron's 40,000 point record?
That's not happening.
Why not?
think so?
Not at this rate. At this rate.
Those European players are not going to play the length that LeBron's going to play because they love the game, but I feel like for them is life is more important than the game of basketball.
Okay.
When their time is up, they're not going to play past the point where
They done.
it's going to help. It's going to affect their personal life.
You know, I think
I think-
LeBron's longevity definitely is helping reach that 40,000 points.
That's the only thing helping them reach that
No,
shit.
yes, longevity, but also LeBron be still playing at
So averaging 20
amazing,
points a game.
amazing
Yeah.
basketball. But do I think if someone was to play as long as LeBron, I think there are people that because
What active player you think right now who has a chance of, if they played continuously, would pass LeBron's record or even hit that
I
40,000
think
point?
right now the youngest guy that I feel like that could actually achieve something like that,
Who would play that length of time?
SGA.
I was thinking the same thing.
Oh, you think so?
He's averaging.
He's averaging 30, and it's
But
not.
you think he's gonna play that long?
So it's not, and it's the way he plays. He
long.
doesn't. He's not. LeBron at one point was kind of more of an above the rim type of player,
100%.
and then he kind of transitioned into that more back to the basket. SGA to me,
Slow.
as long as he keeps this kind of like, it's scary to even say this, he kind of plays like Kobe towards the end half of his career. That kind of, I'm gonna set it up, I'm gonna do certain moves.
I'm gonna get to my spots.
Right. Pick
pull
a
up
lot of
range.
tools. If he can do that for as long as LeBron did and not get hurt, because remember Kobe, the real reason why Kobe ended up having to really step away, he just got killed with injuries. Achilles, right?
hurt all the time.
If he could have stayed as healthy as someone like LeBron did, who knows what the ceiling could have been. But
Yeah, Kobe would have still been
I
playing.
feel like SGA, his mentality, the way he plays, is kind of below the basket. It's very tricky. It's a lot of move setups, and he's at a point now where he has the whistle. I'm gonna say, call it what it is. He gets the whistle. He can potentially reach that 40-point threshold. 40,000 point threshold.
You know the league gave him the okay for that.
Yeah, no, you got it.
He's a superstar now.
Look, Victor Wembanyama had to learn that early. Is that yes, you're a Euro star, but you got to work to be able to get that whistle. It doesn't. You're not just going to come in and get the whistle.
That's a fact.
Yeah.
That's a fact.
You're not Jordan yet. You're not. I wouldn't call it on you though.
But I believe you.
I believe you. I believe you. Nah, you're not there yet.
I didn't
brother.
see it, Mike.
But I believe you.
But I believe you.
But nah, he's not at that point yet. And I think ultimately, it's a game. So
Yeah, facts.
there's certain aspects of the game that are.
If Luka can stay healthy too, I think Luka's another person that could reach it if he can
I
stay
don't-
healthy. But
yeah,
I don't
mean-
think that I don't see Luka being playing. What is LeBron year 20 or something, whatever like that?
Yeah, I don't see Luka playing that long.
Me neither.
I think when he's tired of the game, he's just gonna stop and enjoy life.
Probably.
I think it's more like that. Because I feel like if honestly, if I was in the NBA, I would be doing the same thing. I would make my money, and then when I'm
Ready to go.
when I'm ready to go, I'm ready to go. I'm not gonna just continue to play
At the
off
same time, I
longevity.
don't know. I feel like these athletes, they retire fairly young, and there's a lot of life left in them after they retire.
100%. I mean, come on. Retirement for basketball players 30 years old, like 35 years old. Come on,
The
man.
average career, I think they said is 10
40
years.
years?
No, I think they said.
Oh, 10 years for
I think
NBA?
it's 10 years for the NBA. Don't quote me on that.
It's like 4 for the NFL.
You know, they play a different sport.
That's 10 years. So if we did 1 year of college,
Come out of
19,
college.
what was that 29?
Right. Most guys,
Should
by the
not even
time you're
30 years.
in your late 20s, you're done.
And you're probably broke because you probably do nothing with your money.
You're doing something with the money.
Yeah.
Like Zion-
Hard as
like-
money
like
going to a
Zion.
strip club, man. Having too many babies over there.
Man, I definitely seen an NBA player at Tootsie's.
Bro, man.
Back when I was, you know what I mean? Before I was a man of the cloth.
I heard about that dude who had a baby. I forgot that lady's name. 22, having a baby with a 39-year-old.
I don't even want to talk about that.
Yeah.
Oh, who? Oh, Jalen Green.
I don't want to talk about that. I'm going to leave that topic alone.
And I feel like now she got him tried for 18 years. Money. That's it.
So think about that. And I think this is all I'm going to say on it. If you were reaching 39, 40, and you wanted to secure a retirement plan till you were 60,
You go for
what's the best way to get that done? She good till
just
she's
did.
60.
What
At
she
least
just
till
did.
she's 60. And then by that point, we got to remember, like we just said, the average NBA career is only 10 years.
He's 22. Her son is 20. Her son is 21.
Who?
Yeah. She got a son that's 21.
Her son is
I
21.
think Jalen Green is 22 and her son is 21.
That's nasty.
Man, that's their business. These you know what I'm saying? These women out here,
It is
I'm
what
not
it
saying
is.
all women, but that particular breed of women.
Breed of
No
women.
comments.
They
That's
on
all I
some
have to
other. Yeah, no
There's
comment.
that one. There's the other one that got my son from I think he in Dallas now. She had locked him
Right,
up
but
too.
see, that was only a 7-year gap. Still crazy.
No,
but-
I'm not talking. I'm just
Talking about
this-
PJ Washington.
Yes, I'm talking
Right.
about locking him up.
Right, but they're saying that's a 7-year gap.
We're talking about almost.
21 to 40?
That's crazy.
Come on, man. That's crazy. That's almost 18 years, 19-year gap.
That's
That's crazy, bro. That's
If
different.
the roles were reversed, it's predatory.
absolutely.
And so if
no, it's
we
still it's not
it's-
the rules
that's-
reverse. It's still
predatory, right?
No, 100%.
It's still predatory.
It's hunting for, like you said, a retirement account. Now I'm set for 18 more years. That's it. That's it. She can't have no babies more at 60. So I'm good for the next 18 years.
And ultimately, it seems like for NBA players right now, that seems to be a trend. A lot of them are dating a lot of the older women, the Drea Michelles, the Bernice
I don't even
Burgoses.
think dating, bro. I just think these women, they know what they doing. They hunting.
And I
They
feel
finding
like,
them.
but someone needs to teach these young men. Cause I say young men because they're like 10 years younger than us. Like someone needs to teach these young men, like, bro, do better.
Nah,
But
the
they
kid-
babies, man. Like
Bro,
they
when that is
kids.
thrown in your face, you stopping it at 22 years old? You stopping that? And she's probably working him, bro. Working him. And she's like, dope. Let it out. Let it. You know what I mean? She's working him. He's like, oh my God. You know what I mean? So, like, he don't know no better. He don't know no better.
What I think Casey is trying to allude to is that with an older woman, she has more experience. There's probably things that she knows or that she can do that
And his mind is blown. His mind is blown, bro. His mind is like, oh my God.
Like, who taught you that? Yeezy taught you. Yeezy taught me. Yeezy taught you
Bro,
well.
that's what I'm saying. And in the moment, he's like,
and like you said, think about it. This is his. One, he didn't go to college, right? He went straight to G League. He went straight to G League Ignite. So he didn't have that on-campus experience, right?
or the coach is putting that stuff in his head.
Right. So
Don't do that. Don't do this.
he didn't have the on-campus experience.
Yep.
You go straight from G League Ignite where you're getting paid. I think they was paying them.
30
100?
or 60K, something like
I
that.
thought it was,
No, it's a couple hundred.
Nah, it's
No, he was on a specific team where they pay you a very good salary.
like 100, like 100.
Right. No, it's a
Okay.
it's a good check, right?
It's a good check these
He goes
days.
from that to getting drafted, right? And he's like third or fourth pick or something like that. Now you're getting multi-millions, right? This girl who, let's be honest, you couldn't have even have been infatuated with her when she was really in her peak peak or prime, right? You were literally a child.
I still don't know who she is.
Not listen. She was.
I've seen her face. I've seen her face before,
right? Like the whole thing. I think there was
before.
some scandal with Chris Brown and everything else back in the day.
Back in the day. She old. She up there, bro.
He couldn't even been thinking about you when you were in your peak of fame, right? Whatever 5 minutes was. And now he runs into you. He's clearly, you're keeping up with yourself. You're staying in shape. You're working out.
She know what she doing.
Right, she fishing.
She know what she doing.
Now the question is, are you going to take the bait or not?
He absolutely took the bait. Clearly he took the bait.
Right, but the issue is that if he was my man, I would let him know there's nothing wrong with what you're doing. Just have your fun and go about your business. Which
That's why I said, like, I feel like there needs to be people in these young men's circle helping them to discern what is right versus what is wrong, because now they are being trapped in these situations that are not ideal for them.
But you gotta think about it. Who do they have to look up to? Social media is their big brother.
Social media,
right?
Yeah,
TikTok is their uncle that's giving them Riz.
Like in the end of the day, like they're almost they're kids now, bro. They're kids.
Exactly.
Game?
Riz.
Game?
That's not what they call it anymore.
What is Riz?
Exactly.
Riz, bro. You know the Riz now.
Game.
No, game is our
Like
time.
Biggie said, spit your game.
Nah, spit your Riz.
Right.
Riz them up.
Right. They getting the Riz from
Rizzing them
TikTok.
up.
They watching like there's
the
channels.
Riz, bro.
There's
The
channels
Riz,
devoted to how to Riz up.
And I watch them because they're hilarious.
So, okay, right? Do you even think, really and truly, at this day and age, people are actually spitting Riz? As you would say, I feel like right now it's all DMs. There is no game.
But this is the other
There
issue.
is no game. Everybody, all these.
We've become so antisocial that people don't even know how to approach people. I'm not even gonna say men approach. I'm talking women and men both. No one knows how to talk to each other.
It's different.
They're gonna see
It's
someone. They're
different.
gonna wait till they get home. They're gonna slide in the DMs.
That's crazy to me. Why would you not just walk up to that man
Because
when you
it's
see
a social
him?
media era, but we don't do that. We don't do
But how
that.
did you even find their Instagram?
Back in my day, I feel old. I feel like we used to have to go with the loose leaf. Get the little phone number on the piece of paper and then call from the house phone.
Bro,
there wasn't even no cell phones back then.
I had to pay for my own sidekick just to text, man. Because that's it, man. My parents wouldn't give me no phones, so I had to text with a sidekick.
Mind you, and we couldn't make phone calls before 7 because
And that was long distance on that other stuff.
You gotta think about it. The young guys now have more access to people than we've ever had in the history of the internet.
But
Right?
I feel
Because
like
you shooting a DM right on Instagram, how much more different is that than you hitting up a girl back in the day on AIM? You get what I'm saying? Like,
it's not the same.
right, what I'm saying is that it's just this is the evolution. Like this is where it evolves into.
My thing is you can like for back in the day, we legit had to have conversations in person.
Right.
In order for anything to cultivate anything, you had to have conversations in person. You had to get the aim. You had to get the phone number. You had to do all this.
You
stuff.
had to actually call them.
You had to
have a
actually
conversation.
do this stuff. In this day and age,
it's texting, bro.
like
Social media.
you're sliding in the DMs. Like everything. I feel like for them, things are getting lost, and I feel like this new generation is losing communication skills.
Yeah.
No, 100%.
Losing communication skills. I just feel like it puts them at a disadvantage. All this stuff being so easily accessible puts them as a disadvantage. I feel like for us, we had to muster up the courage to go up to the baddies and be like, yo.
And I had no courage.
Nah, I definitely had that.
I had no courage, bro. I had no courage back in the day, bro. I was not doing that.
Man.
I was not doing that.
But I think for them, a lot of them, they're in a boat that's not too much different. It's like they don't have the courage to walk up to a girl now, but at least they feel like they have this outlet where if I find your IG, I can slide up on your story, send you a hard eyes, and see where it goes.
50-50, bro.
It's the easy way out.
50-50 chance, bro. She answers or she don't.
Yeah, but it's the same thing in person. But I feel like
in person,
No, but in person you have to.
Yeah, but rejection builds character.
Right, but they don't have to be rejected in reality.
It's not the
If
same.
you get virtually rejected, I'm just gonna go on to the next girl.
Yeah, but like I said, rejection it builds character.
Not social media rejection.
Yeah, but you know
bro.
what I'm saying? So go to the baddie, be like, yo, let me get your number. She'd be like, damn.
That shit hurt, bro. In person, that shit hurt.
But at the same, but it motivates you.
on.
You not effort.
You move on.
I'm gonna go.
Yeah.
I'm on to the next one.
On to the next
On
one.
to the next one. I be like,
But the social media, you could DM 100 people
that's
and
a
hope
fact.
that
You could
one responds.
You could
Hope that
copy
one
and
responds.
paste the same message
And
to
that's what they do.
1,000 women.
Right, but
And
that's
they
what
do
I'm
that.
saying.
That's
If you
what
look
they
at
do.
a lot of people that talk about online dating now, they say it's so empty and hollow because it's really just copy and paste. And nobody really, everyone says they want, show me your personality, but if everybody's saying the same thing, there's no personality to be shown. You have to meet people in real life to really see if you connect with
That's a
them
fact.
and have a relationship with them. Because if you're just trying to talk to somebody like your pen pals, it's just gonna get boring really quick.
Not the pen pal.
No, it is. It's like,
I
oh,
agree.
what did you do today? Oh, it's raining. Oh, I hate the rain. I'm like, who wants to do all that small talk? Like,
Nah, I did that. That was easy back in the day, bro. That you had.
right,
to
but
do
at least
that.
you were going to see the girl in person. You know, you were setting up. Hey, let's link up to go to the park, or let's link up and go do something. These guys now, like, they'll just be in the DMs
DM all
forever.
day. As long as they got their little Snapchat streak, they okay. As long as they get their little good morning on Snapchat and they got their 1,000 number streak, they okay with that.
Yeah.
It's different times, and I feel bad for this generation.
You think it's more difficult? I mean, I know it is. Like, you guys think it's more difficult to date in this time than it was back in the day?
Absolutely, because of social media. Because of social media.
You think it's like a fake,
I feel like people see things and people want things that they see. A lot of things that people put on social media
Fake.
is what they want you to see.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like
None of the bad.
all you'll see is the smiles. You know what I'm saying?
None of the bad stuff.
Facts.
None
You'll
of
see
the bad
but
stuff.
but you won't see the 1,000 arguments that they had before that one picture that they put up with the smiles.
Yeah,
and I
that's
feel
true.
like social media, and that's what people don't understand about social media. It's fake. It's a facade.
Yeah.
People will only allow you to see what they want you to see. And people
Correct.
don't understand that. People will see that and be like, oh, I want to love like that. I want to love like this.
But you don't even understand what's going on in their life,
You don't
though.
understand the intricacies of that love, what
Yeah.
it takes to get into that love.
People don't understand, like, just because somebody's posting all the happy stuff, then they're not going to post the arguments.
Why would
Because we all
you?
argue. We all argue.
That's
it's,
a fact.
It's a part of life.
There's
It's a
no
part
such
of,
facts.
it's a part of moving on and growing up and being an
I
adult.
think it's not just social media. I think certain aspects of just like the music too, and the way things are portrayed. It's like we have this mentality now where the young people feel like everybody is disposable, right? And it's like nobody wants to teach people that. Guess what? You're never gonna meet the Prince Charming or Cinderella that's perfect and has every single thing that checks off on your list.
Nah, Corinne is perfect.
I'm glad you got that on camera. But just in general, there are going to be things that you dislike that this person does, and vice versa. There's things that you do that she's going to hate, right? So ultimately, you have to learn. Like, we have to teach people, like, hey, you can't treat people like they're a new pair of shoes where you can just go grab another one, because guess what? You'll end up having to go back to the store 8 times. 9 times instead of just working out with the pair that you got on.
Yeah, but what if you don't like the pair you got on?
Right. I'm not saying, and I agree with you, right? If you don't like it, you should go get you a new pair.
Don't waste time.
If you go to grab a new pair every 2 weeks, it's not the shoes, it's you.
That's you, yeah.
That's a fact.
You have an issue with commitment. You have an issue with being able to resolve conflict.
Or maybe you just want to play the field.
And play the field.
There are some people.
Listen, I don't have a problem with you playing the field. Make your intentions known with the people that you're dealing with. Don't
100%.
lie. Be transparent. And guess what? You shouldn't have a problem.
Yeah, don't leave nobody on either.
Right.
If you know your intentions are not, if you know your intentions are to date casually, I guess that's how you would say it. If you know your intentions are to date casually, and you know that you have no plans on committing, that should be communicated with
100%.
that second person.
Agreed.
And they should be able to agree, like, yes, okay, I'm okay with casually dating or not, because I feel like a lot of times people lead people on. Like, you know, you have no intentions of casually dating, of committing to this person, but
It's just wasting their time.
but it feels good, so you want to keep this person around.
Men and women both.
That's why I said person, and that's not fair to either party. Either party.
No, I agree. Because I feel like, I mean, I'm not talking about you guys in general, because, I actually talking about you. I have a lot of people around me nowadays, and I know that temptation won't tempt them.
You said won't, you said?
Won't tempt them. I know a lot of people.
Temptation will tempt.
Yes.
They can't help themselves still.
They can't help it, and it's just like it's just like if it's thrown in front of you, you're just gonna take it. And I have a lot of people around me nowadays where it's like we all on the same path. It's like when we travel, it's not about that. It's about experiencing life. That's a fact. Like I decided to be my partner for a reason. It wasn't to do her dirty. That's a fact. It was to have somebody to come home with and be happy with, and then also still do my guys trips. Facts. That don't mean. But that's just going out on adventures. Correct. Not necessarily like I feel that's man.
It's about willpower. It's
about willpower, but I also think it's a level of maturity as well. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? It's level of maturity, and it's a level of like I feel like. I also think it's people not necessarily fully understanding what it is that they committed themselves to as well. Yeah. Like when you agree to marry someone, not even marry, when you agree to be with somebody, you agree to be with that person. Yeah. And I feel like a lot of times people are entering into things too early. You know what I mean? Like they'll say they want to be with this person, but they're not ready to give up. You know what I'm saying? All their hopes. Yeah, all the. You know what I mean? You can't have your cake and eat it too.
And I think people don't understand that relationships evolve. Facts. Right? What you start with will never be what you end with. And as you progress further and further in that relationship, you will see that the things that maybe floated your boat in the beginning is not what's going to float somebody's boat, in the middle, or, even as you get longer in life, right? So, at the end of the day, people have trial and errors, they have failed relationships and all the rest of this stuff. But, when you're going from, this is my homegirl to this is my sneaky link to now this is my girlfriend to now this is my fiance, now this is each stage of that comes with a different, set of expectations
and experience.
And then once you have that matrimony moment, and now you're saying you're building your own family, that's a whole nother roller coaster that you throw into the mix of trying to maintain what you already had. Mm-hmm. And nobody talks about how hard it is, especially as a man, to try to make sure everything is going the way it's supposed to go, and not losing yourself or feeling like you're angry all the time or feeling like you don't understand what to do, because there is no rule book to this. Like there's no instruction manual to being the ultimate guy, right? Because at the end of the day, you can have these expectations, your spouse can have these expectations on you, but you just got to be able to put your best foot forward, right? That's ultimately all we can do.
That's a fact. But also, when you're in a relationship, we're gonna put our best foot forward.
Right, got to strive together.
I feel like each day, we know that we are doing things together, and we chose to do things together. That's why we choose who we choose.
Right, for better or for worse.
Yeah, for better or for worse. Because we see potential. We see that this is someone that we can build with and make decisions with. So I feel like each day is an opportunity for us to kind of continue to strive and hit our marks together, and I guess it makes things easier.
Yeah, at the end of the day, we signed these papers to be partners.
Facts.
We're not signing these papers to be so dividing things in half.
That's a fact.
Be partners in everything that goes on and moving forward. And that's why I like it. Like everything I achieve now is we achieved this together now. Like we all put our efforts together, and that was all just us. And that's the good thing about it too, because my wife has the same aspirations that I do, and when we move forward, it's not just me anymore. It's just us.
Facts.
It's the new one coming on. It's all that positive stuff, and that shit excites me, man.
Nah, man, I can't.
As it should.
I can't wait to get married, cause I feel like to me once I found my person, I was like, I'm fucking ecstatic that I get to do life with someone else. Like I have like a permanent person that a permanent teammate that's with me every single step, and it's fire.
And you find that person a little later in life.
Facts. I'm 33, turning 34 this year. Yeah. So, but
you never know when that's going to show up.
It's never too late.
And I think ultimately too, right? A lot of guys I hear like this, all this rhetoric about people being afraid of marriage and all this other stuff, and I don't want to get married because she's gonna. Man, listen, I'd rather love and lose than to never love at all, man.
I'm just gonna love.
I'd rather, for me,
that's a fact.
No, listen. At the end of the day, it's just
Nah,
I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid to go
dive
in.
deep.
Right, because
That's a fact.
But if we talk about it on a full circle, like
Right.
you say, I would rather love than
No, I understand that.
I'd rather give somebody 100% of myself and know that I tried
Facts.
than for me to be out here 50-50 in it, one foot in the door, the other foot I'm out here finagling and doing all this other kind of stuff. Nah, man, I'm committed. I'm 100% in. And what I want to do is I want us to win together.
That's a fact.
Right? And ultimately, as long as you have that same aspiration, we can't lose.
That's a fact.
We can work it out. We can talk about it. We can do whatever we need to do.
That's a fact.
But
it's definitely taking a risk.
I think a lot of the young guys, they're looking at certain situations because the internet, like I said, the internet is tailored to show you in certain it's negativity, man. They want you to make you think that getting married is a bad thing, that getting married, you're gonna lose all your money, they're gonna take listen. First of all, it's a lot. Listen. There's a lot of advantages of being married, just like some of y'all need to wake up and understand y'all ain't really got nothing to take to begin with, but that's a whole nother conversation.
My biggest thing is because I'm into these relationship podcasts, and the biggest thing I hear about is the culture of women these days, women boss. Women who don't fucking need men.
Nah.
And I cannot stand it, bro.
Women are, they want to find their equal. They want to find someone that is equally yoked to them. Someone that, I'm a boss, but he's coming with a boss mindset too. He wants to win too. He has ambition too.
But a lot of them put a dollar sign on that.
No,
and it's not about a dollar sign. That's the issue I have with it. It's because it's always a dollar sign attached.
I think
the dude is expected to take care of the entire family.
I feel like that is, oh gosh, that is, but that's also how a lot of the men were that we grew up with.
Right.
Yeah, facts.
That's a
fact.
They thinking about their grandfathers. They thinking about.
That's not how we run anymore.
But it's crazy. Not even gonna get into that. Not even gonna say that on camera. Nah, cause my thing is like you talking about like that's how our grandfathers. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's how they were brought up.
Yeah.
But our grandmothers were stay-at-home wives, where their sole purpose was to make sure that they were homemakers. That was their thing. They were homemakers, and the man was the breadwinner. But I feel like if we're going to, if that is the expectation, you know what I'm saying, that the man is going to do this, then I'm not agreeing with it. But I feel like if that's going to be the mindset of the woman, then you have to keep that mindset that the man is going to do. You're going to do as the man says, because that's how it was.
Yeah, but that's not how they're taking it. They're taking it as the man brings the breadwinner. But then they can tell him what to do.
That's not. But
it's never gonna work.
Nah,
that's never gonna work.
It's not. That's not how it worked back then.
No, 100%.
So that's not how it's gonna work. You can't pick and. I feel like
they want to pick the good to take from it and keep the modernization of the relationship. Me personally, I look at it. I feel like I don't agree with any traditional gender roles. I can cook. I can clean. I can do whatever you need me to do, and whatever I need you to do, we should both be able to do it. And guess what?
50-50 rule that every girl complains about.
It's all about, honestly, life.
I think for every person that it should be on a relationship by relationship basis. For me, would I want to be in a position where my future wife, I could pay for everything? Of course. But guess what? I may not be there right now, right? If you could start at 50-50 and work your way to that, then do that. Right? If the man said he want to work towards it, then you work with him to get to that goal.
The thing is, a lot of women hear that 50-50 or like, hey, I need your help now. And they don't want to work at it now. They want that person to
you gotta be a benefit to the man.
That's a fact.
Yeah.
Relationships go both ways.
And this is what I tell people. You don't want to, I know y'all talk about trying to find a man that can pay for everything right now, but you got to understand, at that point, of what benefit are you to him?
Why he needs you? Why does he need you?
Find a man to build with, because at that point you're serving a certain level of value that he can't even fathom right now because of the support that he needs, right? Yeah. So if I'm already rich, like if I'm Floyd, what am I getting from you that's gonna be of a benefit? You gonna tell me you're gonna clean my house?
I get a housekeeper.
I could pay 6 people to do that.
That's a fact.
Vagina.
And for them, a lot of those guys, they pay for the vagina. That's what they do.
That's a fact.
But in general, I think about young guys. Like I think about my younger brother. I think about the young guys now. What I would tell them is, and I would tell the young ladies this too, find a young man. Yeah, build together. You can start young.
That's a fact.
You in college, he in college. Y'all start talking about your dreams, goals, and aspirations, and start working towards it.
And build together.
Right. Don't try to wait until you already feel like you built, and now you trying to match. You trying to match the man. Because
that's true.
you're probably gonna have a hard time finding that guy.
Yeah.
Right. Because either he may be already taken, or it's just not gonna work that way.
Yeah. So like I believe I saw this on the Joe Biden podcast, and some dude that was talking about how issue with, and he specifically spoke about black women. The issue with black women was, they say fuck men, focus on the career. By the time they start dating, 30, 40, like let's say in their early 30s, mid 30s, all the black men that most likely wanted them have moved on and married and moved on, and they don't have anybody left over. So they say the pool is low.
I don't think the pool's ever low, honestly.
The pool is low for what they're looking for. That person.
But that's the thing. I feel like I feel like my thing is, if you're picky, of course your pool is gonna be low. And I'm not saying.
It goes back to what he said.
Yeah,
At
facts.
that point in life, you're like, if that man ain't
That's a
making
fact.
my money,
Facts.
fuck him.
I don't want him. Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't want him.
I agree.
So you can't build with a man because it's like you're trying to find a man who's ready at your level, and not every person's moving at the same pace.
I agree.
I think ultimately you have to find someone, and that's why I think there's just other aspects of relationships that are more important. That trust and that loyalty to me means more than anything, because at the end of the day, I always look at it from the perspective that if something happens to me, I need you to be able to be in a position to hold us down until I can get back on my feet, and vice versa, right? So I saw earlier today there was a clip where Avery Johnson, a former basketball player, he played for the San Antonio Spurs.
You gotta talk like him if you're gonna use him. You gotta speak like him. I gotta hear the Avery Johnson voice.
I can't really do the voice that well. He's like a rasp. But I didn't notice. He was talking about how he was a really top tier coach at one point. But he was talking about how when he was in the NBA, he got cut a couple of times.
Okay.
And he wasn't making any income, and his wife was a registered nurse. And he said there was years of our life where she was the primary breadwinner, and I was trying my hardest to be in the NBA, right? And he said, she paid for a lot of things. And he said, I was so grateful for her for doing that. And he said, I make it up to her today with the amount of shoes that I buy her, because I'm buying her shoes every week. Right, and I think that for me, that's the type of relationship that I want to have. I may not have it right now, but for me as the man, I aspire to have it. That way, one day you can sit back and relax.
Sacrifice now and have a better life later.
Exactly.
But don't miss out on life now.
Right, and delayed gratification is never a bad thing. You get what I'm saying? Sometimes good things come to those who wait. You should.
Facts. I'm looking at my parents now. My parents, they take 3 to 4 trips every year.
Oh, that's a goal.
Every year. My mom was talking to your father, he left to do first class. I'm just like, excuse me.
That's what we all live into.
That's a fact.
Meanwhile, me in the back with the basic economy.
No, I ain't in no basic.
I'm gonna get there.
I'm at least an economy plus.
I've been doing a little Delta Comfort. You know what I'm saying,
bro?
I gotta get like y'all, man. I gotta get like y'all.
But also remember the cheat code. We could be in the back in the economy and still living like we in Comfort Plus if you know what I'm saying.
I ain't in the back.
Be nice to your flight attendants.
Yeah,
and they'll be nice to you.
Yeah, give them all gift cards. That's
right. Chill. All I said was be nice to your flight attendants. Just know that every single worker on the plane, they like Starbucks. So give them saying a little
stuff.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah, man. But I think relationship wise, there's a lot of discourse. Some of it I feel like is intentional. They want us to be divided. They want y'all to feel like all the women are bad women. Facts. They want y'all to feel like all the men is cheaters.
Yeah, facts.
Every man is not a cheater. Every woman is not a bad woman. Every woman is not out here with a stable of men.
Facts.
It's not true. All these guys aren't dating all the women. Like, none of that is true.
Yeah.
If you're looking for good people, you look for good people and you find them in good places. You know where to find the good people at.
Good places.
That's it.
That's true.
You know where to find them at.
I feel like that's another issue. The pool of men is not good, but you're looking for men in the club. You're looking for men on Tinder. You're looking for men on Plenty of Fish, on these dating apps. Like, I feel like if you want to find a good man, go to where the good man is at. You know what I mean?
Where they at?
Where they at?
The
Church.
The gym.
Church. You find a good man in church.
I think where if you're looking for a good man, right? I always tell people, hey, your network is important. That's how our parents met everybody, is through your network, right? So if you know you are surrounded by a circle of good guys, right? You gonna mean to tell me that all the good guys that you're with, none of them know any good women? You know what I'm saying? Or, maybe now, and I'm not saying that you know, that you always have to do it like that, but let's say your friend has a wife. He throws a dinner party. They're gonna invite women to that party. Some of these women are good women.
That's how I found my fiance.
Right, and so
I was the best man. She was the maid of honor at my best friend, her best friend's wedding.
Networking. You got to network with good people. Good people are gonna know other good people.
I remember that story. You told me that too. That's dope.
Yeah.
Right. All of that comes from you being able to speak to individuals and say, all right, bet. You know what? From a friend of a friend, that's how I found my person. From this, you can't think that you're just gonna walk into a club. Somebody's gonna tell you, hey, yo, here's a drink, and now this man is the man you're supposed to be with for the rest of your life.
That's the man of your dream. If you're looking for something, you're looking for love in the wrong places.
Right.
You got to be intentional. In the wrong places, you're not gonna fight. You're looking for the wrong thing in the wrong places. You're not gonna find it. You have to be intentional about where you search. Honestly.
Right.
If you're in the club looking for a man, you're looking for someone to club with.
How'd you meet your girl? Or your fiance?
I knew her for the longest time, man. We worked together at a certain point. Like I said, once again, networking. Like, we worked together, and then from working together, right, we had a friendship, right, and we had a network of friends that we all hung out with each other and we kicked it or whatever. And then from there, that group separated. Everybody went their own separate ways to kind of move up in life, but we kind of rekindled and came back to each other. And for me, it's about somebody that's familiar. Like, I know you. I didn't have to guess what I was getting with you, because I kind of have an idea of the type of person you are. I seen your character. I seen how you act around men, right? I seen how you act around other people.
You think people prefer to go to more comfortable people, they're familiar with? I see a lot of acquaintances from high school date people from high school.
I think it's easier.
You think it's easier?
Because you feel like you kind of
common ground.
Right, you kind of, and we have a lot of stuff that's relatable. If we grew up in the same area, we went to the same high school, we worked at the same jobs, we have a common interest that bonds us together. So that's something that we could laugh about, we could cry about, we could talk about the hardships. All of those things together kind of brings you closer. Now, do I think that always works out for people? No. But
because
just
also,
in general,
it does keep people in a box as well.
Right. Because I feel like if I'm going based off of the job that we had at the time, which was flipping burgers at McDonald's, if you were still flipping burgers at McDonald's, maybe I wouldn't have felt like we were still compatible. But you showed me, based on our conversation, that wasn't your aspiration either. That wasn't your goal. Yeah. You got bigger dreams in life. You want to do HR, you want to move your way up, you want to be a manager. That's the type of woman that I want to be with.
Someone with ambition, someone wants to grow.
Got it.
Someone who's not just trying to live off your style.
Right, and you don't have to be there yet, but it's the fact that you're doing the thing, the work. You're putting in the work to get there.
You see the work, you see the encouragement.
That's a fact.
So and so is putting into it. That's all that matters. My whole point about having a great partner is they may not be where you're at now, but you see the stride. You see them pushing. You see them trying to get to your level. Because to be honest, this doesn't account with everybody. Majority of it, women make less than us in their career.
Right.
So the women who's trying to fight for more money, I love it. I see the grind. I see the
you gotta
passion
respect
behind.
I
have to respect the woman who. And I always tell my wife, I said, you're gonna make more money than one of these days. I know you are. And then
that's what you should strive for.
It's not about living off her money or using it. It's I just know you will, just because I see your drive. I see what you put into your job and the way you like and feel about it. It's just make more. I want you to make more money.
But it's also important to speak life into the people that you love.
Right.
Yeah.
Show them that you care.
A lot of times that little thing you tell them, go for it, and be like, yes. He said I could do it. I can go do it.
Yeah, and that little bit of a motivation,
facts.
It goes a long way.
Absolutely.
For somebody, especially just because you may not know what that little sentence is for that person.
That's a fact.
Just get them going that day.
Listen, I always talk to her in a way where it's we'll be playful about it. We get a raise, I be like, I got you by $1,000 now. What you gonna do? You better get your money up. And she'd be like, all right, watch this. Nah, it's and it's never in a negative manner, but it's I want to push you, like you said, I want to push you to Go get that bread.
Yeah.
Go. I want you to make more than me. You making more than me is
it's benefiting us.
Right. It's benefit us, and ultimately, it's a way bigger achievement because, like you just said, they got to fight even harder to get what they want. Us as men, you know, there's certain things that are in place that just make it a little bit easier in the workplace for us, right? But when women kill it, like when I think about my mom too, like all those women that's in that workspace where they working in corporate and they are
bosses,
right, buku salaries, doing their thing.
They had to fight to get to there.
That's a fact. I know, we know it wasn't easy. It was not easy, especially think about back then. It's still not easy, even to facts.
So like I said, all the 6-figure chicks, man, you know, you're right. It's a hand clap because yes, and I know, like I said, we know that you want the 6-figure man to go along with it. You know, we know that you want all of those aspects of it, and with time, patience, and perseverance, you will find the person that can work for you. And that doesn't necessarily mean that man may be making 6 figures. Maybe he's only making 60,000.
It's not about the dollar figure.
Right.
It's about the potential.
It's about the ambition as well.
Right.
If he's making $6,000, okay.
How do I boss him up?
What's the goal? How do we get there?
Right. How do I help you?
Because 60 and 60 makes 120 a year.
That's a fact.
Not that bad.
No, that's a decent living.
I think that's chilling.
Right, but now let's just say you making 100, he makes 60, and you figure out a way to help him get to get the extra 40.
I love seeing women try to pick their man up.
That's 200.
Got to.
It's different.
But I feel like partners should pick up partners. I don't think it's definitely even like
man or woman thing. It's like
almost like go back to our original conversation. Some people don't want to see other people succeed, even in relationships. Like they don't want their woman to make more money than them because now they think they have power over their decision because hey, they're bringing more money, man. So maybe my wife has more to say.
Then you a hater.
100%.
You hate it. I don't want you around me. If you don't want to see me succeed, don't be around me then. Because I'm gonna do my best to succeed. And if you're not happy for me, then go go kick rocks.
I agree.
Honestly.
So we're gonna end the podcast right now with some deep questions, and this is how I want to move forward with this podcast. So I'm gonna ask you guys a question. Think about the answer. Think about a memory, and just kind of give me what you think a proper answer for you is. I don't know if I'm gonna ask you both the same question, but let me start off with this question, Mark. Let me know what you think. So, can you recall a time when you faced your biggest fear? What did you learn from that experience? Just think about something.
My biggest fear.
Like, yeah, we all fear a lot of things. It could be in career, life. It could even be proposing to your fiance. Like, what's something that kind of got you going?
I feel like there is gosh. Whew, I feel like there's a lot. Okay, so if I keep it a buck, right? Growing up, I had a terrible anxiety issue.
Okay.
Terrible anxiety to the fact where, like, if I was going to do anything new or anything that kind of was just different than usual, I'd wake up sick. Okay. Like legit, like physically sick. Like I'm throwing up, heavy breathing, and all of that. And a lot of times, not gonna lie, it would hinder me a lot because it'd make me physically unable to do a lot of things. And to the point where I just started to learn to live with this anxiety. Which was kind of crazy to me. But I feel like as I got older, I realized it was me kind of getting in my own head, right? Just me overthinking everything and being super critical and being kind of nervous about things that I am unfamiliar with, right?
Okay.
It's still recording?
Yeah.
Right? Keep going? And I feel like I eventually learned to kind of, I guess, not take life so serious, right? And kind of just go with the flow. And I cannot control everything.
Okay. And
I feel like, I realized that I have faced more life events that I know for a fact would have caused me anxiety, that haven't caused me anxiety. Like I'll go on interviews. First days of work, proposing to my fiance, different things of that nature, and I would always think that it would come across me. Like I'd wake up in the morning and feel sick, and I feel like I'm facing these events, and the anxiety is not happening. And I feel like I just kind of learned that your life is life. You know what I mean? You can't control everything. You can't change. You can't change what's gonna happen. So you just continue to kind of live your life. Honestly, like I learned to kind of just stop worrying about things that are out of my control.
That's a good way to think about it.
And when I stop worrying about things that are out of my control, I think the anxiety just is gone.
Almost like just living in your bubble.
Just live your life. Like don't necessarily like be strategic.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Be smart, but just live your life. If you worry about everything, you're gonna make yourself go crazy. And that's literally what I was doing. I was making myself legit go crazy by overthinking everything.
I like that. Yeah.
Everything. So I don't think I really answered your question. So I guess one thing for me, I think when I kind of realized, okay, I remember one time, right? I was on a trip to DR, right? And it was a cool trip. I'm saying I woke up.
Recently or not?
No, this is back. I'm gonna say 2015.
Okay.
So I was 25. So I was an adult, but I'm still kind of going through anxiety.
Okay.
So that morning I woke up with anxiety. I don't remember why I had anxiety, right? I don't know why I had anxiety, but I still woke up in the morning and kind of had my anxiety. So that day we were supposed to do horseback riding, supposed to do zip lining, and we were supposed to do waterfalls. That's all they said. We're doing waterfalls. I didn't know what the hell waterfalls was.
What do you mean waterfall?
That's what they said.
Cliff diving.
That's what they said. They didn't say that. They just said
cliff
they just said
That sound like cliff
that's not. They just said
What does waterfall mean?
Let me get there. They just said. So I was like, okay. They said so we in DR. We do horseback. We do waterfall. I said so. Me and my boy like, all right, cool.
Yeah.
Let's go do an excursion. So we do the horseback riding, whatever.
Horseback in the water thing?
Yeah, we do it's regular horseback riding.
regular
Horseback riding. Then we do zip lining. Zip lining was cool, right? Then we're doing. So then it's talking about we're gonna do the waterfalls. I'm like, all right, cool. What they
Dunn's
did?
River zip line?
No, this is in DR. This is not.
DR.
That wasn't Dunn's River.
Dunn's
So what they remind you that's the first thing I overcame with my fear was doing the zip lining. Cause I got up there, I said, this shit.
I have a fear of heights too.
I said, this shit hella high.
It's hella high, bro.
But once I did the first one, I was like, this
It was
like,
fun though,
yeah,
right?
it was cool.
Around, like,
yeah, once I did the first
Yeah.
one, I was like, it was cool. And there was monkeys all around and all that. I was like,
that's
this was
cool.
cool.
That's
So that was the first kind of fear I overcame.
Yeah.
And then, so we're doing the waterfalls. What they didn't tell us is that it's a 2-hour hike. You know what I mean? They just said waterfalls. They didn't say it was a 2-hour hike and like
on foot?
yeah, like on 95-degree weather. Like it was
That's too much.
it was a lot. It was a lot. So we doing the hike, whatever. There's little drops in here, little waterfalls here and there, whatever. We get towards the end, and they're like, "All right, y'all got two options. You could jump here, which is a 3-story jump. You could jump into this water to get down." Or you could take this ladder.
I'm taking the ladder.
So I look at the ladder. The ladder looked some little shaky wooden ladder. Like it did not look like it could hold nobody. So I think I was like the fourth person on the line. First person jump, bang. And mind you, my friends jump, and they're adventurous.
Life vest and all?
The life vest. We had life vests.
Okay.
But like there's 3 stories. Like it's like,
high, though.
yo.
That's high.
Son, one of my boys who loves this, he's just there. He struggled. So eventually he jumped. My other boy jumped. I get to me, I was just like, oh, hell no. I look back at the ladder, and then I said, nope, that ain't it. And I hear there was a guy who's a football coach. I don't remember where he's from. He was the first person to do the jump. And he's in there, he said, you could do it, big guy. I thought to myself, yeah, he's right. Shit, I could do it. Jumped into the water. 3 stories. Jumped in. It was fucking amazing, son. Yeah. Fucking amazing. And I feel like a lot of times if we let fear control us, we won't be able to experience what we need to experience. And I feel like when I jumped in, I was able to take in everything while I was in the air and just experience that. It was fucking amazing. And I feel like a lot of times if we let fear or anxiety control us, we won't be able to experience amazing things in life because you'll limit yourself to what you can and will do because of fear. So that day, and I feel like a lot of times it just takes one person to encourage you. That's all it took. This random guy I do not know you can do it, big guy. And I said, you know what? He's right.
Yeah.
I can do it. And I feel like if nobody else said that, I probably wouldn't have done it. So one, I think it's important. Like 2 things I learned from that experience and just from anxiety and fear of all of that is one, anything is possible. You can do anything. Don't be scared. And second, it's important to have people around you that encourage you and that motivate you. Because when you have that people, those people make you feel like anything is possible. Things that you think that you're incapable of doing, you have that right person in your circle, that right person next to you, they're going to make you think that anything is possible. Yeah, so, that's what I'm saying. Facts.
That's dope.
Yeah.
That's dope. Ready for a question, Brian?
Yeah. Let's do it.
So this one is a little different. Share a story of a friendship or relationship that transformed you through sharing some vulnerability. Something that made you almost had to open up. You know, experience that possibly changed you a little bit. Maybe you had to open up emotionally a little bit.
I definitely feel like, for me, you know, transitioning from being a boyfriend, right, to being a fiance, to being a husband.
Fiance.
When I think about the transitions through those timelines, it's like, as men, you know, a lot of the times we're taught not to be vulnerable. We're taught not to open up. We're taught to put your emotions, bury them, don't talk about it, don't express yourself. And I realized that a lot of that we learn through trauma, right? We learn that from other men that don't know how to handle their emotions. They don't know how to express themselves in a way that's conducive to your relationship, right? We are taught that a lot of men speak with their hands. They try to control with violence, or they try to, you know, all these things. And it's like, if you're with somebody that can receive that information in a certain way with, like we talked about earlier about the egos thing, if you're in a relationship where you both can set your egos aside, there's nothing that you shouldn't be able to put on the table that allows you to express yourself in a way that the other person can hear you. It doesn't mean that they have to necessarily agree, right? True. But to feel heard and feel validated in what you're experiencing is a good feeling. I feel like in the relationship that I'm in right now, that was one of the biggest things that I tried to put forward when we first started dating. Like, hey, this is a safe space. This is a space where, you know, I want to create a space where you can feel like you can tell me anything. You can feel like
that off the jump?
I started like that from the beginning. Like, even down to like when we first started dating, I was very vocal on like, hey, listen, if you feel like I'm not expecting you to be committed to me right now, we are just dating. If you feel like you meet another gentleman that can do more for you, that can fill different roles for you, whatever that may be, do not hesitate to feel like you can't tell me. And you know,
don't tell me.
Yeah,
no, listen.
You better than me.
No, listen.
You better than me.
Like one of the first times I went to Vegas, I told her, like, listen, you know, I'm going out here, but you know, we're not committed yet. I'm not out here looking for chicks or nothing else like that. Like,
have done something?
What do you mean, as far as done something with somebody else?
Yeah.
Like, if I felt like I met someone that filled a different role, that's different. Like, if I met someone that
Can I ask what stage you two were in?
We were very early in our relationship. Like I said, I'm talking like the first 3 months. I was still traveling like that.
So the talking.
Right, that's what I'm saying. I'm talking about the talking phase.
Was the talking phase?
Right, you know what I'm saying? We y'all didn't go with me this time. It's the first time I went. I went with.
This was before.
Before we went.
Okay.
By the time we went, we were full motion. But I'm saying, as far as early on in our relationship, and I guess you could say it was more so the talking phase, I was very vocal and like, because I was always trying to be realistic with myself. I can't expect you to just be talking to me and we've only been talking for 2 months. Like, that's kind of crazy to me.
Is it though?
It's not crazy.
For some people, this is for me. I felt like you said, I'm living in a social media era. We've been dating for 5 years. I'm 28. I was 24? So in my head, I'm like, I'm expecting you to be outside. right? Not that you are. Right, and not everybody is, right. So I always felt like I just wanted to give myself time to kind of be proactive, like, you know, because I felt like even still, it's still early. You're not rocking with me.
Can I ask a question? I know
Yeah, go ahead.
Do you think that might be a defense mechanism?
Yeah, it 100% was. It was me trying not to have to be vulnerable with somebody, because if I'm already kind of giving you an out, if you decide to leave, I'm less hurt. You get what I'm saying?
See that, like he's
I wasn't ready to give.
Opening that so he doesn't get hurt.
Right.
So it's the 1 foot in 1 foot out. You was talking about.
Right. But that's what I'm saying. I had to learn through being with her, like, you know, and her wanting to commit to me, like, yo, listen, nah, we locked in. Like, I'm not talking to nobody else. I'm not doing that. And then a lot of men will hear that kind of stuff. It's up to you to want to believe it or not, too, right? Because I'm not a phone person. I don't go through no phones. I'm not doing all of that back and forth, rah. So for me, I had to take it and believe it, right? But I also had the past experience with her where I felt like I knew her character. She's never been someone that's lied to me. So why would she all of a sudden start lying to me now? That's what I'm saying. When you're talking about being vulnerable, you had to be willing to take that step, because I came into the relationship and I already knew I was kind of 70% in. I was trying to give her 30% out, and that way if I did get hurt, I can just be like, yeah, man.
I wasn't even fully into
right,
it.
Yeah, you know, it's whatever.
Yeah, I feel that.
Nah. Eventually you reach a point where, you know, you're like, nah, I gotta commit to this. Like, I want it, I gotta commit to it, and I'm in it. And that's the hard part.
I always 100%, so I can't.
But see, and that's the hard thing, because I've tried that in the past, and I get hurt.
I don't either.
I can't.
You get hurt, and then you're like, dang, I gave all this to this girl, and you find out she's not 100% in. She was 60-40.
It happens.
Right.
It happens.
So for me, I had reached the point where I was like, I was already on defense mode before even letting it reach a certain point. I had to relearn to be vulnerable with women in a state where you're saying, all right, you can't be afraid to love. You can't be afraid to put your heart out there. And guess what? You may get hurt, but that doesn't mean you're not dead. You get me? It's not going to kill you.
That's a fact. But did you die?
Everybody's been hurt, you know?
Yeah, and the whole point is
you alive, you breathing, it sting, it hurt.
That's the question. But did you die?
Right.
But did you die?
What did you learn?
Yeah, I ain't gonna front.
What did you learn?
That hurt definitely teaches lessons. Definitely teaches.
What did you learn?
But it does also make men more savages.
Some become more monsters, yeah.
Facts.
I think it depends. I see, and this is what I'm saying.
It does.
For me, I felt like I'm already in a position where I'm trying to give you an out. That way, if you decide to go sneaking and geeking, I'm like, man, she was already out. She was already halfway out.
I already knew.
Compared to me being, I'm on my lover boy thing,
facts.
And now she's like, I come to find out you've been running around with Rick and Nick,
and Bobby,
right, and Bobby and Mike, and now I'm sitting here on my knees crying, hurt. Like, you know, no guy wants to be in that position, and I think
no person wants to be
right.
In
And
that
I think
position.
too, I had to understand that there were certain aspects of my relationship where I had to turn social media off, right? Because
I feel like social media is the death of most relationships.
Bro, especially earlier on, like I'm watching all this stuff. And I'm taking it, and you know, you hearing some of these dudes say some of this nonsense on the internet, where it's like, yo, yeah, you know, you don't put all your eggs in one basket, and blah blah blah, and you know, you should have a rotation of women that way. You're listening to all of this, and then you're like, as a young man, you're like, yeah,
rotation, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday,
until you really try to juggle 6 girls, and you figure out that ain't it.
That's also not cost effective.
To you, and right.
And I feel like, and I feel like I did that back in high school. Not in a crazy way, but I had my choice. It was mad work.
It's a lot of work.
Mad work.
Because
you gotta remember each person.
That's a fact. I feel like when each relationship requires attention. You know what I mean? Like, each relationship requires attention. It's just like it's a lot of work. You know what I mean? That's me. One
is good. For
facts.
Too much work.
You know what I'm saying?
Multiple, man.
And I'm happy in my one. I don't need 2, 3, 4.
Nah.
Saying if you
do.
Yeah, but I think that's because they haven't found their one. I think that's because they haven't found. I feel like if you find that one, like I'm saying, like, yo, my fiance is my best friend. And we laugh and joke about everything. When you have your one, you're not looking for 2, 3, 4, 5. You know what I mean? Like For me, I don't personally, I don't have energy to give to somebody else.
I think it just takes a lot, and I'm not gonna say what other people can or can't do because, like you said, we're in a day and age where there are plenty of things that are that would not have been normal a long time ago. That I feel like if you like it, I love it. If it works for you, go with it. You get what I'm saying?
That's a fact.
To each their own, and ultimately, when we're talking about it, I salute the people that can make that kind of stuff work because to me, we live in a better society when people are open and honest about what they got going on and people aren't lying and trying to make things up that don't actually exist, right? So if you're
most people.
Right, that's what I'm saying. If you're a one woman man and you vocalize that and you let the girl know, perfect, I'm with you. If you feel like you a guy where you like to have multiple women and you vocalize that to the women,
she might be okay with it.
Right, and if she work, cool, more power to you. But let's work on being transparent and being honest with everybody.
Give people the opportunity to choose what they will and will not accept.
Because you'd be very surprised. That's why I say ultimately.
That's a fact. I feel like you tell me that all the time. I think.
I can't judge. Like I said, I always say I cannot judge people based on what they do or don't do. You do what's best for you. I do right,
what's best for
and
me.
as long as you're not a liar, right, we good.
Somebody,
right. Because even like you said, you talk about if you got your boys, you got your clique. If I see you and you doing all this backdooring and lying and trickery and all this other kind of stuff in certain instances, why do I think that I'm above that? Like you wouldn't do that to me. I don't know what you're capable of. I could be next on the list, right? So it's hard to trust people that you can't really be transparent. People.
It's a form of deception. Yeah. If you're deceiving one person, what makes me think that I'm above this deception that you're giving to somebody else? So I get that as well. So
for me, it's like I try to live my life with being transparent to people because I want people to be transparent and open and honest with me, right? And that requires, like we talked about in the beginning for the question, that requires being vulnerable with people, right? And being able to open up to people, and not just in a romantic sense. That could be on a friendship level. That could be on a business level, right? You got to give some level of transparency with people for them to understand you, and also some of this stuff can be relatable. That's a fact. I agree. I'm not gonna lie. So I had one of my friends recently, one of my boys, who to me, like I had asked him a question that I already knew the answer to. Okay. And he lied to me. And I was like, so you knew the answer and he lied already? Yeah, I knew the answer. I said, yo, bro, cause mind you, like it was something that I told one person. I'm like, hey, bro, did you tell somebody? Because it came back to me and I know I only spoke to you about it. Nah, I ain't said nothing to nobody. And I was just like, okay, you're lying, but okay, cool. I ain't said nothing. I sat with it a couple of days, and after I had to text him, I'm like, yo, like when I asked you this, I already knew the answer. I said, for you to lie to me, it makes it difficult for me to trust you, and it also makes me think that you do not value our relationship. And I called him, he apologized, I said, my bad. When you asked me that, it caught me off guard. I didn't expect it to get back to you, my bad. But to me, him apologizing was showing me that he values the relationship, our relationship. He respects you. Yeah, he respects me. I guess enough to apologize. Yeah. Yeah, enough to apologize. I feel like if he respected me more, he wouldn't have lied. It was just something completely different. I mean,
sometimes people just kind of.
No, I understand. To me, I understand. It's a defense. Yeah, it's a defense. Yeah. But like it goes back to what you're saying, like just being like vulnerable and honest. Like, I could have just cut him off because I'm like, oh, he's a liar. I can't trust it. But when you value relationships, you try to make it work. It doesn't have to be a romantic relationship. You have friends you grew up with, you value those relationships, you be vulnerable. I told him straight up, like, yo, that hurt me. It makes it difficult for me to trust you when I know you lie about simple things that you don't need to lie about. He apologized, we moved forward. It was both of us being vulnerable. Then he explained to me, you caught me off guard, my bad, you know what I'm saying? I didn't, like, when you said it, we were talking about that. So we both were being vulnerable with each other, and that's how relationships work. I feel like if you really value someone, you should be able to be vulnerable with them and let them know and let them in sometimes. Honestly.
Agreed. I think that's good. I think that's two good answers, man. I don't even think you have to even go deeper than that. I think we're gonna end it right there. I want to thank Marc and Brian coming on the Pump and Culture podcast. Appreciate them coming out. Hope you learned something. Hope you took something from it. We just talking, just chatting. This platform is just all about people expressing vulnerabilities, just living life, just talking memories. So for everybody who listened, who watched, I appreciate you, and thank you for listening and watching. I will catch you in the next one. Thank you guys. Appreciate it.
Peace.
All right, later, y'all.